fries with that shake?
But yes, no, I feel
Yes, no.
absolutely fine.
4
I just
days at
feel
work
fine.
and you're fine. How about that?
Yeah, hey, I've done 2 full days the last 2 days. I'll have you know,
Oh,
2
snap.
10.5
Well, I'm
hour
glad to hear
shifts.
you're
And
alive
I'm
and kicking.
fine.
All right,
Not a
Ten
Is that
Ken.
problem.
some song from the 80s? Alive
Not a
and kicking.
problem.
This
It is
episode is
weird.
brought to you by Festive Friends.
Hostess fruit pies.
Oh yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
And what have you
Costa
got?
coffee. Oh no, yeah, Costa coffee. There
Can
you
you
go.
drink coffee? Is that allowable?
No, it's cocoa.
Can you drink cocoa?
So it's not coffee.
I can drink hot chocolate, but I can't drink coffee because of caffeine.
Can you snort cocaine? Is that okay?
And that would probably be really bad, I'm assuming.
Well, you know what?
Because
Sometimes
it
you gotta live
elevates your
life on the
heart
edge.
rate,
You can't
which
let,
would
you can't
probably be
let
bad.
the society
Ugh.
keep you down. You can't let doctors like order you around, man. Would you rather
Hit
have?
doctors.
Would you rather have 50 more years of okay health or 49 more years of awesome experiences?
To
And
be
then
fair,
1 year of terrible death.
yeah, that might happen. To be fair, actually, I finally got a cardiology appointment with a specialist. Who knew?
Hey!
After
Do you have the
only
appointment or you had the appointment?
no, I've got one on the
Oh, you got a date now. Okay.
17th of December.
Oh, fingers crossed that it goes well.
2025.
Ah.
But I'm going to a private hospital for it.
Oh snap!
Even though it isn't private, it is on the NHS, but it's just on a Saturday morning at a private
They
clinic.
gotta outsource it somehow. I
Yeah,
guess.
they do. So
Yeah.
yeah, as long as it's not.
Yeah,
Do
they
you
do.
know what? Here's the crazy thing, right? I don't know
What's
what
the crazy thing? Tell
Well,
us
have
the
I t-
crazy thing.
Have I told you that I've got a formal complaint against my original consultant?
No,
I
it
probably
doesn't make sense.
haven't,
It
as
doesn't.
it
It doesn't
goes.
surprise me. Yeah.
I've got a formal complaint against him. But anyway,
Well, sure.
so I just assumed he'd change it,
Did
but
you dirty?
it's been a real faff getting it to
Yeah.
change. He works at this clinic, so it would be very ironic if I turn up and I get him as my consultant.
Oh snap!
I'll be like, no. I don't wish to see this idiot. Thank you very much.
He'll turn round on his Bond chair and be like,
I know it'd be him.
Mr. Fowl.
Oh, you thought you were getting someone else? Well, you still got me. I've never met him. I've never met the guy. Needless to say, he's a bit of a cock.
Well,
It's not strong. It's not too strong a word. Trust me.
maybe he's a fan of the show.
Maybe
He was
I
trying to-
doubt that
He
very
was
much.
trying to get a
was-
spot on the show and was like, I know how I
Could
could do
be.
it. I could kill off one of the hosts.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's probably what he was trying to do.
Ooh, can I do it this way? Oh, I can do it that way. Sweet.
Joystick
Save and
shows
run
this
on the
is-
screen.
Joysticks and Chill are in the chat.
This is it. This is the interesting thing, though.
No
guys.
response
This is
from Stu.
interesting.
No
I
response.
know. Yeah. Well, you know.
Hi, joysticks and chill.
Hi,
How you
joysticks and chill. Here's
Probably
but we was
Jay.
in the middle of a conversation. But here's the interesting thing, people. Right.
Go on.
This guy's a specialist, right? Who referred me to like everybody's jealous of the NHS, aren't you? All these people go, "Oh, isn't it great that you live in a country where you get free healthcare?" Right?
Well, the
it's not
alternative does kind of suck sometimes.
Well, it kind of does, but it does. It sucks even more, right? When the person who's meant to be protecting your health refers you to a rapid access chest pain clinic. Okay, that never happens. The referral never happened. So I waited 4 weeks, ended up in hospital, was then diagnosed with
Yes.
heart failure, right?
Yes.
And this is the best. This is the best bit. You're gonna love this bit. So I phoned up his secretary the other day for a completely unrelated thing and said, just out of interest, when did he do the referral for the rapid access chest pain clinic? And she went, oh, just let me have a look. Oh, that's a bit odd. And I said, what's a bit odd? Well, it was raised on the 27th of September and then cancelled on the same day.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm like, so I'm thinking, what date was that? So I look at my diary. You know what date that was? That was the day after I was discharged from hospital,
Wow.
having
that's
already
crazy.
been diagnosed with heart failure.
Well, yeah, you don't
So-
need to see a specialist then.
So, well, exactly. So there's me thinking, well, why did this happen? That seems very odd. The only conclusion I can come up with is because
Racism.
they realized it hadn't been done and thought, shit, we better do one. So at least it looks like we did one. But now it looks even worse because they did it the day after I didn't even need one anymore.
Hey.
I
It's
don't know what
very
you're
odd.
talking about, but anyway, the NHS.
It does sound frustrating.
There's
The
a
NHS
lot of
sucks because
there's
I
a
could
lot
have
of
died.
hard-working people that work at the NHS. But there's also a lot of people that just do fuck all.
Of
It's
course,
not that-
as there
I-
is in
I think
every
what-
bureaucracy. No
I
doubt.
think what concerns me is how many people die a year because of stuff like this.
It's bad when
Sure,
you
that
turn
does-
up.
that
needlessly
concerns me
die.
too.
It's
Yes,
bad when you turn up
absolutely.
to A&E and they say, "You should get that looked at." I'm like, "This is the place."
That's why I've come,
Hmm.
On
which
the
is
other
pretty
hand,
much how it happened to me.
the number of bankruptcies that happen in the UK every year because of medical bills is probably pretty low.
Yeah, but
That-
the number
that
of
is-
Whereas
deaths
in the
that
United
happen,
States, it's like 30,000 every year. Or
the,
something,
the
some
number of deaths
astronomical
that
number.
happen because of neglect is probably pretty high.
Pretty high though. That's the other
It's-
problem we have.
There's plenty of neglect on both sides of the pond, I imagine. but-
Well,
Hey,
not necessarily
anyway.
just even neglect, just negligence in general.
I've
And the
been
difference
I've
between
been
negligence
to
and neglect is
I've been to an American hospital,
yes.
and there aren't many fish tanks with carp in the hospitals that we have.
Yeah, because if you have the money, you go to a great hospital in the U.S.
And there was this,
all
like-
those suckers who don't, you get spat on and
Cool
kicked to
thing
the
that
curb.
that you could play with on the thing, and I had loads
Yeah,
to do.
sure. Oh,
was
that's
great.
a lot of fun. Yeah, I had a good time when I was in the hospital, but I know that I'm very lucky. So, anyway, are we ready to start
Anyway,
this video
yeah,
game
let's just start the
podcast?
show, people.
Okay.
Let's start the motherfucking show, bitch.
Yeah. Come on. Here we go, people. Come on. Let's do it.
Welcome yo to the veteran
Come on.
gamers. Juju,
Yeah.
Ginny, and the fellas will tell you about every single game that you play this week.
Your attention,
Reviews
please.
and an indie pick. Stu story time and Chinny's game breakers. Here comes Duke with the soundbite saviors. It's the veteran gamers. It's the veteran
FREE
gamers.
free, no charge.
It's the veteran gamers.
My wife.
It's the veteran gamers.
Keeping it real.
Yeah, boy.
Listen, I don't have time to play with the phone here. I got a lot of stuff I gotta get
Switch
done.
that console off before you have to press repeat, yo.
Hi, this is Bud Gundelach, and welcome again to my show, Something's Happening.
Hello and welcome to episode 673 of the Veteran Gamers podcast.
Yay! 673 of the Veteran Gamers Podcast, also known as Something's Happening with Bet Gendelak. I'm Duke.
I'm Stu.
I wish we named the show "Something's Happening."
Something's
Some
happening.
things.
It's such a better
happening.
name.
Yeah,
for a show.
attention listeners, do not go looking for the show Something's Happening on YouTube or the web, especially if it's the Found Footage Festival's version of Something's Happening. It's very gross. But on a higher, more positive note, I'm wearing the Duke Crank shirt today. What?
Well, let's have a look. Let's have a
Thank you.
look.
Thank you, Mr. Hero. That's right. What's happening now?
Look, Duke the Krang.
Yeah.
Well, talking of
Wow.
Mr. Hero, talking to Mr.
Wow.
Hero,
Yes.
my parcel has been posted.
Oh,
Got
okay.
the parcel.
Thank you, Mr.
Apparently,
Hero.
apparently, he said he strapped a $5 bill to the side of it and just hoofed it as far as he could. So hopefully, it'll get here.
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope you
I
have
mean-
as
I
much
mean-
fun stuff in your box as I had in mine.
Yeah, and he said I've got strict instructions when it arrives. I am not allowed to open it until the show,
Yeah.
and then
that's-
obviously
well,
I've got
that's
to, you know,
sure.
do the show
unboxing
reveal.
live. Yeah, exactly.
No reveal. So I'm
Yeah,
very
nice.
excited. Can I just say, because I have seen a DJ No Clue beanie in a photograph,
Aw,
so
yeah.
that possibly is coming. I'm hoping, but who knows what's going to be in the parcel? It's
Could be
just going to be
anything.
loads of stuff.
Could be weapons of mass destruction in there. You have
Maybe.
no idea.
Maybe. I don't know.
No
We
idea.
will see. We will see what is in the parcel.
I want
when
to
it
know
arrives.
what's behind those doors that Duke is in front of.
That's just a hallway, isn't it?
Because I want to know what's in those doors.
It's a cabinet. It's closets. There's like tote
Ah.
bags.
Oh, Stu,
and
look,
boxes
check him
of
out.
books
He
and
has
stuff,
two
and-
closets right next to each other.
No, it's one
Yeah.
closet, but it's two sets of doors.
Yeah,
Oh,
just
right.
just
he
in
has
his bed.
one big
Nice,
closet.
Ginny.
but
That's where I
his-
keep my
basement.
snacks.
His closet is
that's where I
so
keep the
big that he has
ho-hos.
two doors on it.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, and that's just the
That's where-
downstairs closet. There's one in the guest room.
What
there's
snacks do you
closets
keep in there,
upstairs.
Duke?
Yeah, Duke.
What?
What snacks did you
snack?
just name?
What snacks?
The fruit pies. Hostess
No, you
fruit
named another
pies.
one.
yeah, you did.
M&Ms.
No,
You
another
just
one.
make stuff up. Come on.
Another one.
Ritz crackers.
No, you said ho hos, did you?
Yes, ho-hos. I don't eat ho-hos. I actually
So,
find them
so he
gross.
keeps
But they have a funny
hose
name.
in his
How
closet.
many
hose in my
snacks do you have
closet.
next to you on your desk?
17 kinds of snacks.
Jesus Christ.
Why not? I need to stay
Why?
sustenance.
Why do you keep your snack
In a tight
in
container. Is that
a
what you're
small
going to ask?
little Tupperware box.
Tupperware.
Because this keeps them fresh.
I know, but why
It-
don't you just leave it in the box like a real
It's
person?
because
and
it's
eat
got
them
Because
leftover.
then they're not as fresh.
Yes,
It's
they
'cause
are.
it's got
I've just
leftover
opened these.
stock.
I've just opened these Festive Friends by Cadbury's.
Fine.
Sponsor,
and in a
sponsor,
week
sponsor.
when you have not eaten all the festive
week?
friends.
They don't last a week.
Listen,
Well,
I'm
not all
sa-
of us gobble up all of the goddamn crackers the second we open the box.
Listen,
course
this
we do. What's
podcast,
the
this
matter with you?
podcast is too good to take sponsorship money. But these Cadbury's Festive Friends biscuit half covered with milk chocolate that tastes good, perfect snack for Christmas season. Sponsor, sponsor, sponsor. Are perfectly fresh, and I've just opened them up. So I don't know
Yeah,
what you're
sure,
Totally
moaning about.
fresh. What's the matter with you? A bit of sellotape does the job.
Wow, taste the Christmas.
Taste of Christmas.
Right. Anyway, video games.
Well,
Does
there's-
somebody have a story time?
There's $4,000.
Yeah, I've got a story.
Okay,
My
Stu's got a
favorite
story
time.
about his medical
It's story
situation.
nothing to do with medical.
Story,
Oh my God.
time.
It's nothing to do with his medical situation.
No,
If you talk
here's the
about your
thing.
fucking heart again, I'll
I'm
smash
not
it
even
in
talking
pieces.
about it. You've already done that. You broke my heart many times, Ginny, over the years. No. Tomorrow, people, is D-Day.
What, DJ Noku
Oh.
Day?
No, it's going to be HD Day because
Oh.
I'm getting my new glasses. So
Ah.
next week, I'm going to be seeing everything in
So we'll be able to
4K.
I'll tell you what.
see Stu.
I'll
It's
tell you
be able
what.
to tell what's going on.
I'll tell you what,
I'll be able
Stu.
to see. I'll be able to
Took
see
my
how ugly
false
Chinny
teeth.
really is.
Stu, 50 has hit you hard, hasn't
I know,
it?
fucking glasses.
Like,
heart
bam,
pounds.
heart fire, glasses.
Okay, now
Next you know-
what's going to
But-
happen next?
You know what I'm expecting? One day we just do this show and you're just going to be, bam, grey.
Old.
Like
I'm gonna be
overnight.
grey.
You're gonna be
I have
grey
no grey
overnight.
hair. Yeah,
Yeah.
I keep on saying that. That's my mantra.
Yeah.
No grey hair.
No grey
no
hair.
grey hair.
That's all you got to hold on.
Yeah, and eventually it'll just all go grey.
And you have a
And
grey
I'll just be
goatee because you don't have a
white
beard.
overnight.
So in
I've
the
got a little bit of grey in my beard. Only tiny
in
amount,
the
though.
chat we have Ian, Joysticks and Chill, Soul Brother, James Alderman, and which is almost your name, isn't it? But it's Stu Alderman.
That's so funny.
And that's the kind of
Oh, I
jokes
feel
we
so
have on the
old.
show,
I know.
people.
Such a good joke. Such a good joke.
Anyway,
But yeah, so tomorrow, glasses. I'll put them on next week for the show. You'll see how
So
cool
the
and
story
smart
for
I
the
look.
week is I'm going to get glasses soon.
Yeah,
It's
but
just
come on,
the
right?
end.
I've had 20/20 vision. But here's the thing, though. I didn't realize how bad my eyes were because one's good,
yeah.
one is fine.
Mm,
But when she did the other eye, I could fucking barely see out of my right eye. I'm like, what the fuck?
yeah.
So
So
one of your eyes has been doing the heavy lifting all these
it
years.
shows you how good your
Come on,
brain
man. What the
is
fuck?
for
Yeah.
adjusting shit that don't
Come on,
work
Dad. What the
properly.
fuck? Shit. Fuck.
You know what I mean?
What was weird about it when
Yes.
I went to the opticians was that she said that you've got 20/20 vision, and I was like, I didn't.
Wow.
You got 3 eyes that I didn't know about. So you,
That's your
in the
third
in the
eye, man. You've been able to enlighten yourself.
you can see it all.
Dude.
Tara is now joining you in the glasses club, Stu. She's
Oh,
got
yeah.
glasses now.
Well, the Duchess also has glasses, so
Yeah.
Chinny,
Yeah.
you and I
We're
are
all
the
wearing glasses.
uncool
Chinny,
ones.
you're the
Kay have
last, you two
glasses?
are the last ones to get them.
Does Kay
I
have
went-
glasses?
Does Kay have glasses, Stu?
Yes, Kay's always on glasses ever since I've
Okay,
known her.
so we are the
Millie
last
has
two,
the,
yes.
Millie has terrible vision.
Does she?
So yeah, oh yeah, awful.
Does she
Like,
think?
truly awful.
Does she think you're her granddad?
No, well, no.
Does she
But
think
when
you're,
the-
like kind of cute? Like,
When
oh,
she,
my
right,
dad's
we've got a
adorable."
big
No.
telly, right? We have got a big telly. When
Yes.
she takes her, you know, the football's on at the moment. When she takes her
No.
glasses off, yeah. When she takes her glasses, she can't even read the
Football?
numbers on the
What's
back of
that?
the shirts. Her vision's that bad. She said it's just like a
Damn, that's
blob on the
cold.
screen.
Yeah.
Mm,
Blob man
that's
playing
bad.
football with a blob. Yeah, it's awful. So,
Um,
yeah. So
yeah,
I'm the last one in this household. We've all got glasses now.
Oh well.
Mm.
Anyway, that was a shit story, Stu. So
Well, it's the best
Right,
I've
no,
got.
it was a great story. It was fascinating conflicts and
And it was
resolutions
quick.
and all sorts
and it
of
was
stuff.
quick, yeah.
Right. Are we
Resolution,
ready
I'll
to
be
move
able
on
to
to video
see
games?
properly.
Chinny, you got anything?
that stuff probably happened,
We-
but I don't really care.
We had Thanksgiving week. It's been
Oh, yeah.
a nice few days off. That's been nice. I got to see
How,
some friends. I
have you
haven't seen in a
apologized to
while.
the Native Americans? Have you?
Yeah, have you
no,
done
that's
an
not how
apology?
it works over here.
You just
There's
write
no
them a letter?
apology. If we were
Send
starting to
them a
apologize,
postcard.
we'd have to start talking about reparations, and nobody's interested in that. So just
Nah.
keep it moving. Let's just
So-
sorry. Whoops.
So, how do you celebrate Thanksgiving, Eric?
Go over to my friend's house and eat a lot. The Duchess made a lasagna for our Thanksgiving at home, but we played it low key. And she made some fish balls, which are also very tasty, anchovies. And we hung out with some friends, and I played Go with their son, which was cool.
Well,
It's been a while since I've played Go.
Shall we talk about what we're all thankful for?
Yes, we should. I'm thankful for friends, for the Duchess. I'm thankful for this podcast, everybody who listens, people who showed love to Nimbus X, and I'm thankful for all these bookshelves that I have room to put all my books in.
Stu, what are you thankful for?
Well, you know what I'm going to say. I'm thankful that heart medication has got so good in recent years.
Heck yeah.
Because otherwise, might be dead.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty thankful for that. That medical science is good.
Yeah.
That it does good shit. Brainy people come up with cool stuff.
Yeah, they're smart.
That's
aren't
what
they?
I'm thankful
They're
for.
smart.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm thankful for smart people. Yeah, doing.
Speaking
cool
of the opposite of smart people, I'm thankful for the listeners of this show because they
Ah.
must be
Suck it, listeners.
out of their bloody mind.
Oh, sorry. By the way, I've got something else I'm thankful for. Before I forget.
Jumpers.
Go.
I'm thankful for the Patreons that help pay for the podcast stream now with Ginny Ever gave it me. I'm very thankful for that.
This is almost like a running joke now. Like I don't want to do it. I don't want to give you the
Yeah,
money.
you know what though? I wouldn't mind if it was a $5. I'd be like, oh, it's pretty funny.
but the thing is, Stu, I don't care. So
no, I can tell that. I can tell.
But what I'll say is, I've now changed it to a sort of like bi-yearly payment.
Yeah. Here's the thing, Duke, right? Here's the thing, right? And I'm not casting right. Chinny, can we just let the listen? Is very secretive about the Patreon thing. We have no idea how much cash is in it. We don't know how many we've got exactly, right?
Yeah.
And suddenly
You can
he's
find that out,
buying
by
a
the way,
new
by going
house.
to the Patreon page. You can find that out.
Yeah, but we don't know how much they pay because everyone pays different. So that
Yeah.
doesn't tell us anything.
I'll tell you what. I'll tell you one
Well,
thing.
let's be honest, right?
Go on.
Let's be honest, right, dude? He's buying a new house. I'm just saying.
Yeah. No, it's totally related.
It's like, right, I used to work for a restaurant manager, right, who owned the business. And one year, all the tips were lower than the year before, right? And then he had a new driveway at his house. Not saying anything
No,
were going
no,
dodgy,
no, of
here,
course.
but just saying.
Well, I've been watching a lot of the World Cup lately, and I've been getting inspired by the corruption. And I just think,
Yeah.
they've got it right. Those guys at FIFA, just take the money and do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
totally.
tell you why, Stu. You mistake secretiveness for laziness. Do you know what I mean? And I can
I'm
see
just
why.
saying it,
I can
just
see
saying.
why they seem like the similar. It's the similar problem. I can't be
yeah,
asked. And
yeah.
also, this is true now. I do know where it is. I'm not like saying I don't know where it is. But Patreon are very sketchy about just seeing the numbers, and like you have to like click 3 times to see how much you've got, because obviously
Right.
their incentives to keep it, but you can sort of withdraw it and whatever.
Well, that's the whole point of it, to help, the listeners who are contributing, thinking they help pay for the podcast.
Well, they
And they're
are.
not they're not
Oh my
doing
god!
no
You need to
harm.
shut the fuck up before I.
Well, do you know what? Do you know what will shut the fuck up? When
What?
you give me the cash.
How much
when
is
you
it?
show me the money,
How much is
I will
it?
shut the
How
fuck
much
up.
is it?
I don't know. I can't remember.
No, find out. Find out.
I've
Go
told
on.
you. I've told you 3 times.
Well, find out.
Well, I
well,
know how much it is.
give
It's
us
Go on,
£87
then.
money!
It's £87.
Do you know? For 30 seconds ago, you went, I don't know, I forgot now. And now
Well,
he
I
knows
do
it's
know.
87
Well, I've told you
quid.
3 times.
87 quid, right, okay.
Boring. This is not why people tune in. You can
No,
talk
it
about
is.
this
Yes, it is.
later. Let's talk about
No,
some
it isn't.
video games, shall we?
No.
Honestly.
Where are you going? Story
Yo.
time's over, isn't it?
I shouldn't wait for people to respond to my.
What you been playing?
Start playing the sound effects. Keep it moving.
What you been playing? What you been playing?
I need your sort code.
You should
I know,
have,
I've got
right?
it.
You
I've
set
got
me
it.
up
I've
last
got
year.
it. I've got it.
I was going to say, you set me up last year.
So I'll read it out of the show.
No.
So people can
Actually,
send
yeah,
you
you
money.
can because people can just send me money randomly.
Yeah. I think I've
That
got
would
you.
be cool.
It's the last 2 digits on your account number. 26. Is
I
that
was-
you? Is that you?
I assume so. I think so. I don't know. I was considering setting up a GoFundMe page to actually recoup the cash.
Oh, shut up. Such a bloody drama.
Anyway,
queen.
what have we been playing? Duke, start something while he's doing whatever he's up to.
Yeah, I'll start. Why not? is he going to be putting the video up on the screen? Because that's one of his jobs.
No, he's busy. Leave him alone for a minute. He's doing
Oh no,
something.
he's busy now, isn't he? Because I'm paying him.
Yeah, he's busy. It's okay. Let him do
There you
his
go.
thing.
It
I've
had
just
to
sent you-
happen now. There's no way this could have ever happened any other time.
I've just sent you 87 quid, Stu. There you
I'm
go.
so
You're done.
sorry,
There you
people.
go. Job done.
Anybody who's watching or listening
Thank you
for the
very
first
much,
time,
Jimmy.
you
And
made a
thank you
big
to the
mistake.
Patreons, can I just say?
All right.
'cause it's those people.
Rocket
paying it.
League,
Rocket League.
Skyrim. Woo! Nothing new to say about those.
Great.
The Steam Autumn Sale is on.
Great.
It is.
And I was looking around, the things on my wish list because Thanksgiving break, I got a couple of days off,
Oh yeah.
and there's this one game that just wouldn't go away. It was relatively cheap.
Right.
There's Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, which is still $30. There's some other
Yeah,
games I
there's
want to
not.
play that
Do you know what I
pretty
think?
new.
Looking through the
What?
sale. No, I'm just telling you what I think about the sale, and I'm just thinking. I was
Yeah,
just about to
that's
say
fine.
because you were saying how much time. Some of the big games don't seem to have that bigger discount.
Well, no, of course not, because they're new. You're paying for.
Well,
the
Tiny
new
Tina's not
access.
that new.
No, it's not that new, but it'll go half price soon. Like it's just, it'll
I
probably.
don't know.
be-
I don't feel there's like as many bargains as there used to be somehow.
Well, no, there certainly are not, and they've changed the way that it works. So it used to be, the thing I think I miss most, and it's weird to miss this, but it used to be that every day there were like special discounts, and like I check in every day, and they stopped doing that. Now that's probably better for my wallet that they stopped doing that, but Anyway, here's the thing.
Anyway.
There's this game that kept calling my name, and I was like, I don't know, man.
Eric.
The game is Gadonia. Now,
Gadonia.
let's pull it up. Gadonia. Pull it up. Let's take a look at it. I'm curious to know your first impressions when you look at this game.
It sort of looks
Okay.
like an indie RPG. Am I in the right sort of like
but,
Fable-esque,
Yeah. That's
Warcraft-esque?
pretty generous. Sorta. I mean, be honest about the graphics. Like they're not amazing.
They're pretty.
Right?
They're
No.
they're a
No, they're
style.
not-
They're a certain
not the
style.
They
best
are a
thing I've
style, I
seen.
suppose you could say.
Well, they've gone for this
Basically-
sort of low poly style, haven't they? really?
Yes, they certainly have. Cell shaded. It doesn't have great graphics. The dialogue's not good. The story is kind of weak.
I could play some of the
But-
dialogue for you if you want.
But no, it's okay.
Ah.
But here's the thing. There's a lot of depth in this game, and it's really satisfying.
Okay.
The combat's pretty good. And there's just
Well,
so much
okay.
to do. All these reviews I saw said, like, if you like playing World of Warcraft, but you hate dealing with people, this is the game for
Oh my
you.
God.
And I was like, that is kind of what I'm looking
That-
for.
that is.
Basically, one dude in Russia said, I'm going to make Skyrim.
Mm.
And so he made this enormous world
I will
with
make
all these
Skyrim.
quests.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what we've got. So
Nice.
it's the graphics you would expect. It's the story writing and the dialogue sculpting and the voice acting that you would expect.
Oh no, I
none
do
of
not
it's
know what
great.
this is about, really. Yeah.
But it's fun. It's satisfying. Like, you protect this village from the wizard who wants to set up this, rune, structure or whatever. And you're like, people don't want you here. Go away. He's like, you're gonna have to drive me away. Yeah.
Does this? Can I have a question? I have a question, dude.
Yeah, go ahead.
Does this feel
Yeah.
like? Is this charming or is this good because it feels like one person's vision rather than a corporation trying to make money?
Both. It's both. It's charming as far as it goes, which isn't very far to be honest. But you can ride around on your horse and like solve quests and stuff, and your weapon
Mhm.
doesn't break every 5 seconds, so that's a plus.
Ugh, are you going to bring that up
Uh,
every time you play a game like this? Is this
well,
your
if
thing?
I'm going to play a role-playing game that's open world, I'm going to list the positives and the negatives. I started out by discussing all the negatives of this game, of which there are several. But one of the positives is, you don't have to keep finding new weapons to fight with. Anyway, yeah, it's weird. It's kind of janky.
Yeah.
But it's also like when I finished, there was this quest with orcs. I had to go and get information from the tablets where the orcs live. Okay, fine. So I went up there and there's like 20 orcs and they all started attacking me. I was like, ah! And I tried to fight them off and I got stomped. So I tried to get them like one at a time, pick them off. I got stomped. And then I realized like that's a level 14 quest. I was level 9. I'm like, oh, I see what's
that
happening.
explains it.
Yeah, I have to go level up. How about
You were
that?
just
It's
weak.
been so long.
You were weak, dude.
Yeah, exactly. But it's fun to level up. And so I was like, I felt myself get stronger and like Okay, like here's an example. And again, it's kind of cute, it's kind of ridiculous. Like he said, okay, Breath of the Wild, you can cook things. Well, we'll have cooking in this game too. But instead of like having, I mean, you do have ingredients, but it doesn't really matter for the most part what you put into the pot because it becomes meal or it becomes like
Yeah.
dish. And so it
I
does
think
have
that's how
different,
cooking
like, if you-
works, too.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's
I
just
can
come up
attest
with
to that.
meal.
That's exactly how it works.
It's
meal.
exactly right.
Just food.
But you know, if you put in more cheese, you'll get more stamina
Cheesy,
boost. And if
cheesiness.
you put in, if you put in meat, you get a health boost or whatever. You know what I mean? Like the ingredients do matter. But there's one. It's just a vertical scale. So you put points every time you level up. You put points into different things. If you put them into your cooking, you get dish, and then you get like ribs. I got the ability to cook ribs.
I got
so that's
weeb.
nice.
Just one weeb.
Yeah, exactly. Sure, I'm hungry. Yeah, the voice to animation is not good. Like when the characters talk, it's out, but they are saying things, so you don't have to read a lot. And yeah, I don't know. They're interesting quests. Like at one point there's this dude who claimed that he killed the dragon, and then you're like, I don't know. You look at the dragon, and it's like it looks like it's been clubbed to death. And he used a sword, or so he said. And then you find out that this other dude had killed the dragon, but then he beat that guy to death in order to take credit for it. And it's like,
Nice.
that's
I
kind
like
of
that.
sketch. Yeah. And then at one point, there's these bandits fighting with these soldiers, and you can choose one side to help. And I don't know, it's just kind of interesting. And there's factions that you're like, it's not very deep, but you're helping out the warriors, and therefore the bandits start hating you more. And then the warriors will help you later, presumably, hopefully. I don't know.
How do you say the name of this
yeah.
game again?
It's called Gidonia.
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 And so when you said it was calling to you, how was it
Yeah.
calling to you? Was it like, was you lying in bed and it was going?
No. It wasn't like that. It was more like when I went to Steam, I looked on my wish list, and there were big AAA games that I was like, yeah, I wouldn't mind playing that. And then this one was there, and I was like, yeah, I remember.
So how
putting it on my
many
wish list.
hours have you played this now?
I probably put in like 4 hours into this.
That's
Maybe
quite
more.
good for you, Duke, on a new game.
It is quite good for me, yeah.
That is quite good for you.
So I mean, I don't know. We'll see. Like, here's the thing: at various points during the week, I sat down to play games, and I looked at Skyrim, and I looked at Gidonia, and I chose Gidonia.
Yeah.
That says something.
I've just seen something on the gameplay, Duke, that I think sums this
Okay.
game up quite brilliantly.
Okay, go ahead. Yes.
When you summon your horse, it literally just appears
Yeah.
out of nowhere.
It just pops and whoop right
Yeah,
there. Yeah.
which
Exactly. Now, to be fair,
games like
I have
Red
a
Dead,
mod in Skyrim that does the same thing.
but games like Red Dead and Skyrim and The
Yeah.
Witcher have tried to make this more sophisticated, where the sort of horse appears that look to be running behind you
At
or
a
something.
distance, it comes to you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
However, this game goes, I do not kill. Horse spawn now.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And you can dismiss your horse just the same way, and it just poofs away.
See that for
it's
me.
not sophisticated. It's not
that-
fancy,
but I
it is,
quite like
it's
that.
Cute. Like
I like that.
It's old school, and it's
Yeah.
it gives me it's giving me exactly what I want from an RPG right now. You know what I mean? Like there's lots of quests, there's interesting storylines. They're not fascinating, but they're kind of cool. There's many things to do around. There's like bosses. There's this huge hornet that you got to kill at one point,
Well,
and you don't even have to kill it. It's just there if you want to kill it.
That's my problem with these types of games, is that a lot of them are about saving the world, which is annoying.
yeah.
Like I find
Right.
saving the world quite a pain in the arse, to be honest. Do you know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
just
to
so
be
like,
undertaken,
oh,
it is. I mean,
oh,
it's
we gotta-
huge.
it's so boring.
The main meta quest is about saving the world, so far as I
Right.
can tell. Like you have these dreams, and you go to this
Right.
cave, and all this stuff. But it's in the background. And
But
most
The
of
Witcher,
stuff
The
is, like,
Witcher isn't
dealing with
about
people.
saving the world all the time, and Skyrim isn't.
It's about
like,
saving Siri.
the most
Yeah, it is.
interesting
It's,
parts.
it's a smaller story,
the most
really. When
the
you
most
think about
interesting
it.
parts of those games, and like Red Dead and stuff, is those small stories with
Yeah.
characters that are interesting and fun, and like, oh
Well,
the-
you can go back to Witcher soon. They're doing a
Good for that.
graphics update version.
Yeah. No.
Have you
no.
heard about this?
Yeah, I'm not
Oh my
bothered.
God, no. It's gonna be amazing to look at.
Yeah, who cares?
I know. Anyway, Gidonia, thumbs up. I'm enjoying
Good on you.
it.
How much was
not
it?
much
What's
to
the price of this? What's the price of entry?
It couldn't have been more than $10. Like it was, on sale.
I'll have a
cheap-
look. I'll have a
to
look
begin
for
with,
you.
so,
Here we
yeah.
go.
I'm
Let's have a
liking
look.
it.
How much is Gadunya? It is, I will tell you now. It is. If I can find it.
Welcome to the Veteran Gamers.
Good on you. I
Use your
cannot-
time wisely.
Yeah, I use it wisely by not being able to find
So
this game.
while you're doing that, I will tell you that combat is there's this thing that a lot of the monsters do. Like they'll charge in a straight line at one point, and they'll put a red like box out to let you know that the animal's about to charge in that. So you just get out of the way. It's pretty easy. There's nothing too hard about the combat as long as you're the same level or above as the monster you're fighting. So I mean, whatever.
It's a very expensive £8.54p in the UK.
Jesus
there you
Christ.
go. About $10.
Well, I'll tell you what, with your newfound money, Stu, you can afford it.
I know I can afford it now. I couldn't. I was on the bread line until about 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I don't believe you, but you know.
I know I've had to have the heating off and everything.
So it's a thumbs up from you, Eric, for this.
Thumbs up for
Gdonia?
Gdonia. Yes. Exactly what it says on the tin. Nothing more,
And
nothing less.
is Gdonia the name of the
I think
area?
it's the land you're in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Willowy, who just says, go to
Yeah.
Discord, Purgatory, join us on, what's that?
Let's
I
go,
think it's probably
Purgatory,
supposed to be
join us
COD.
in
Company of
game
Heroes. Is it Company of Heroes?
Could be Company of Heroes. Maybe.
Yeah. We won't be doing that, Willow. But
We're
thanks
probably
Yeah,
not
we
going
are,
to be
but
joining
apparently
you.
fine,
Sorry,
thanks for-
Willow.
thanks for
Nice
spamming
try.
our
Thank you
chat.
for
Yeah,
attempting
yeah.
to get friends to join you, but
Jesus.
we're not those kind of players. We don't.
Yeah,
we don't play
spam
games
someone
with
who's
each
got
other.
lots of listeners. What's the
Actually,
matter with you?
funny enough, I know that we're giving him exactly what he wants, but Company of Heroes is one of those games I've always had in the back of my mind to play. Always.
Ooh, there you go. Here's
You know
your
when you say
chance
games
to
call
make
to
new
you,
friends.
Eric, like Company of Heroes is always like called to me. It's always because I like Halo Wars, so it's like But no, I won't be doing that. Well, so fuck off.
No,
So anyway, sorry about that. At least it's not
We're
porn
nice here, we're
spam.
nice.
At least it's not.
That
porn
is true,
spam.
it's a
Well, I
change.
mean, maybe we haven't been to that Discord yet, though. It might be.
No,
Yeah,
maybe
it might
it
be.
is.
Yeah, it might go
Maybe
in
he's
there.
just trying to get us there with
it's
Company
just
of Heroes, and you get there, it's just like,
It's just willies everywhere.
yeah.
Well,
Ooh.
I'll be honest, right? The spelling of it, purgatory, like in a cat, maybe it is.
Yeah,
Maybe
could
it's
be.
a cat thing.
Yeah, maybe it's a cat thing.
Yeah.
I like how
Anyway,
it's become the point of like, you got to go search for this. Like, it's. I mean, 'cause
Yeah,
you
don't
can't put
bother putting a
but
link
that'll
in
get-
anymore.
That'll get blocked automatically.
yeah, they get blocked. They get smarter with it.
You gotta
man.
go.
Yeah,
you gotta
that's
do
why.
something else. I guess that's
Maybe COH stands for Cocks of Honor.
Cox of Honor, that's
Could
what
be.
it is.
I would join that Discord.
There's a Discord.
What do you mean? Duke's already in that Discord.
Yeah,
Yeah.
admin. So anything else to say about Gdonia?
No.
Play it.
I'm
It's
not
okay.
talking about
Good on you.
Gdonia. It's good. It's
Yeah.
good on you.
Good on you.
Good on you.
Good on you. Yeah, good on you for playing good on you. Chinny, what have you been playing?
I've played some more God of War this week.
You know, I felt I should do, but I didn't.
Yeah,
Good,
yeah, I played a little bit more. I'm still probably not ahead of you.
Really? Although
Yeah,
I've
I've only
not played
played-
it all week.
I've only played it a little. Yeah, but you played it quite a bit last week, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. I did put a lot of time in.
I'll tell you where I'll say some words and you'll know where I
Okay.
am.
Okay.
I've done a side quest.
Yeah.
Where I saved some sort of whale thing.
I don't think I've done that.
I got to a boat and you could either go right to do the side quest or left to do the main mission.
Huh.
And I went right.
Interesting. Yeah, but interesting because
I'll tell you where I am. There's
I'll
like,
tell you
it's
where
like a
I am.
roller, like kind of like a mine cart. and
Oh
I've
yes,
got
you're probably just about at the same place as me. Then,
But
in
before that
case.
mine cart, you could do a
Oh,
side
you see,
mission.
I didn't do that. I went straight into the caverns.
Well, the side mission was very, 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 very good. You have to take out these three
Interesting.
like pillar. I think you can go back and do them.
Yeah, because you go back on foot. So I'm around that area now.
Yeah. So
I had to go back
I'm
on
about
foot.
there. So I'm not very far. I'm probably
Yeah,
about
we're
4
almost at the
4
same
hours
place,
in,
I would
something
say.
like that. I'm
Yeah,
about 4 hours
yeah.
in. Yeah, I enjoy it. I just want to say something. Okay.
Go on. Yeah.
And
go
I've
on.
mentioned this before on the other.
Is it controversial?
Well, there's a podcast out there that, you know, is very famous. And I like the podcast. I listen to it. But
Yeah.
they accused, and I've said this before on this show, but it just really annoyed me because they accused A Plague Tale Requiem for feeling too much like a video game. Like, you know, in Gears of War where you see the low level
Yeah.
walls and you're like, well, I know what's going to happen here. Right?
Yeah.
And they was like, oh, it's too gamey. Like, A Plague Tale's too gamey. You know, I know exactly what the puzzles are before we even do it and all that sort of
Yeah.
stuff. I'm sorry. And they
This is
ranted,
exactly
and they
that.
ranted and raved about how brilliant God of War Ragnarok was. Like, oh my god, it's like one of the best games of this generation. As soon I zip line down this thing, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, I bet you 100. Look, instinctively, I was like, there's going to be enemies here,
Yeah.
right? Because I knew, look, I hadn't fought for a while.
Yeah.
It was an open area, and I was like, there's definitely going to be enemies here. I can tell. And then, bam, enemies.
Boom.
And then I got angry. I was like, I'm sorry, but like this game is a video game, not to its detriment, but I'm just annoyed that they marked down A Plague's Tale.
Yeah,
and big.
I understand exactly what you're saying, and I think the animations in this aren't the best.
Well, you were
I have
talking about
seen-
that the first week because Kratos feels so responsive, doesn't he? Where he with Red Dead and Last of Us, when your character turns, he has kind of like a delay to it to like get into
like
the
a
animation.
real person would move.
But Kratos, like, he moves on a dime, doesn't he? Mainly, I mean, I can see why, because it's combat related and whatever, and it's a choice. It's not like a given, and I don't think it really harms the game in any way. But people just that accuse. It just annoys me that A Plague Tale got knocked down for what they're bigging this up for, and it's just.
I think the problem is when you play something like The Last of Us 2 or Red Dead Redemption 2, the animation is so on point. Even just like little stumbles and stuff that like makes it like a real person would move.
Yeah.
That you notice it more when you're playing a game like this, which is meant to be the best thing since sliced bread. And it is, don't get me wrong, this is a good game. I mean, this is top draw, but you notice it. You know what I mean? I even notice this just from playing other AAA titles, but it is great. I mean, fucking hell, the snow looks amazing. I mean, it looks amazing, but I just think the animations aren't just the best I've ever seen. You know what I mean?
It's quite natural though, like that when a game comes out like God of War Ragnarok and it gets praised so highly that there's always like this sort of down curve straight after it going, actually, it's not that good. Do you know what I mean? Like, whoa.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's always like a natural backlash that like Red Dead had the thing.
Right.
Skyrim has a thing, and
I'm not sure The Last of Us 2 ever had much apart from.
Are you
the grim
joking?
story.
The Last of Us 2 had
You
loads
gotta
of
be
backlash.
kidding, dude.
Are you
There's
joking?
so much backlash.
Oh my God.
People hated The Last of Us. I have students who come in and say it's the worst game ever made.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, first of all, you haven't played many games if you think that, dude.
But
yeah, no, I mean, mostly it was because of the fact
choice.
that you have to play as the person who killed.
Yeah, it's because it was grim, and no one liked playing as the character.
Well, they feel like it was an insult to Joel's memory and stuff.
But what
not
tends
in terms
to
of the
happen?
game.
That was a brave choice, but that's nothing to do with animation or the way the game plays.
No,
or
but
looks.
there was
That's-
blowback though. I mean,
There was-
it might be
There
about
was,
different things.
Well, not for the same reasons.
What
No,
tends
of
to
course it
happen though
wouldn't.
is like is a game comes out, it gets a certain reception, and then over time that reception changes. Like people like certain games that are actually bad when they came out, and people shit on games that are good. It's almost like if they're really good, like Dead Space 2 for example.
Yeah.
When Dead Space 2 came out, it was unbelievable. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if you remember. We must have been doing this show because it was like 2010.
Oh no, we were definitely doing it.
And Dead Space 2 came out, and everybody was saying like this is the best game ever made, and then no one talks about it.
Of course.
And then you get the opposite effect with like a game like Mass Effect Andromeda, which Jay from Joysticks and Chill actually likes, which is insane. But time happens, right? And then people go, actually, it wasn't that bad. So there's this weird sort of thing that happens with time where good games become bad and bad games become good. But anyway, I don't know what's that got to do with
It's just
God of
that
War.
people. I think it's that you have this wave of exuberance as soon as a game comes out, and people wait for that to die down, or else their voice gets drowned out inside of that, saying like, "Here's some complaints." And so you have, I think, what you have is the wave of exuberance, and you have a spike of complaining, and then it kind of levels off into whatever the actual feel of the world is about that game. And I think that No Man's Sky is a very interesting example of that, because you had the wave of exuberance, people were like, "Oh my god!" and then it was really not nearly as good as advertised, and there was this crashing, response. And then you had this wave of just fury and rage, and then over time they kept improving the game, and it got better and better and better. And now people point to No Man's Sky as like the redemption story of video games.
Yeah, definitely. No, yeah, I totally agree.
All right, so who's talking about which game now? Are we still talking about Ragnarok?
Now, I was talking about Ragnarok, yeah, but Fraser in
Go
the
ahead.
chat was saying that The Last of Us, they are gaming darlings and automatically get reception buff which finally recedes over time.
I don't think by any. I know everybody went on about playing as Abby in The Last of Us 2, but I still think that's a fucking good game. It's just a bit grim. It's a depressing game. It isn't a, there's no happy ending really. Let's be honest.
It was a depressing game that came out in a very depressing year. But never mind.
But it's still a fucking great game compared to a lot of stuff.
Back to God of War Ragnarok. I'm enjoying it. I enjoy the combat in Ragnarok. I feel like the hardest part for me is remembering the combos. Do you know what I mean? Like remembering.
Oh, definitely.
Like how to do them all.
Especially when you've not played it for a week or so.
Yeah, and I have to go into the skills.
What am I
have to go into skills tree and go like, what can I do again?
Yeah.
And like swap into the different.
I think we're getting to a point where, and I don't know if this has been explicitly stated somewhere, but I hope so. If any developers are listening, we need to start making it standard in these big games that take a long time to play, that often get put down for a little while. Like, welcome back. If it's been more than like 3 days, like it's been more than 3 days since you played, would you like to do a quick refresher of like the moves? You know what I mean? Because that would be so nice to pick up and be like, oh yeah, here's how you do these things. So I just think we're getting to that.
God of War Ragnarok does a lot for accessibility as well. So if you are hard of sight, hard of hearing, if you
Stu, you listening? You got
sorry, did you say something? Sorry,
who's that? I can't see.
One thing that is really starting to irritate me is how much Atreus, is it Atreus? Atreus and the head. I don't know what the head's name is.
I can't remember. He's a god, isn't he? His head chopped off, but I can't remember.
They help you a lot in the game. So you're doing like a thing, and they go, maybe you'll be able to see something from up there, brother. And you go,
he looks up. He looks up a lot of the time.
I think you should hit that. And like, they say it before I even have a chance to. It's like
figure it out.
Playing with someone going, no, you go in there. No, you go in there. No, do this.
Right. Yeah.
Luckily, in the options, you can turn this off. Yeah. I haven't had the guts to do it yet, but I am very, very close.
No, because you don't want to get stuck.
But no, I think I will, because it is exhausting. The default setting is really tiresome, and just give me a fucking chance to work it out. So you can turn all that down and off. Not just off, but like you can notch it down a little bit. Right. So that's good. So I really appreciate the level of accessibility and options that you can do in these, especially these PlayStation games with like The Last of Us, and like Ubisoft are very good at this as well. But like and God of War is like, it's not just you can make it easy, normal, or hard. It's like, do you want aim assist while you're doing puzzles? Do you want aim assist with the axe? Do you know what I mean? Like whatever it is, it's like it's really customizable. The Last of Us 2 was amazing for it. It was, you know, do you, when you're prone, do you just want to be invisible? So if you just don't want to be seen, you just go prone. You know, it's just like really clever stuff, like where it just makes, look, stop making the game such a barrier for people and just let people enjoy it. Because this stigma of like, oh, you know, games have to be hard to enjoy them is sort of going away.
I'm trying to think. I played something recently that had a no damage mode. You could actually just turn on not get damaged by anything, almost like an invincibility mode.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
So yeah, it's that stuff that I think is really, really useful and should be encouraged to just, you know, Dara O'Brien, the comedian in the UK, Stu, he did the whole bit about video games, didn't he? Quite a long time ago now, over 10 years ago. And he talked about like no other medium, like reading a book, you know, would stop you from reading that book. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't read a page and go, did you understand that page? If not, you have to go back and read it again. Like, it just doesn't happen. And video games are like that. They sort of finally started to address that stuff, which it's taken a while, but I think PlayStation are the absolute head of the game of doing it.
I think the biggest argument was sort of back in the days of Rock Band and obviously Guitar Hero, the fact that you couldn't just play any song you wanted at the beginning of the game. you
It's
had to
crazy.
fucking play through
know, it
10 songs.
it should be
to
an
unlock
option.
other
It should-
songs.
It should be
Yeah.
like, do
And
you
get
want
3-star or above or something.
do you want to
Yeah.
unlock games for a career, or do you want to just play everything all at once? You can go back to
Yeah.
this anytime and
Right.
Yeah.
do it. So
It was quite unbelievable that you'd paid full price for a game, but half of it was locked behind the progress.
Well, I mean, to be
wall.
fair, that's the standard process that most video games have gone through. So most games, you don't throw on Super Mario Brothers and you're like, let me get to level 8 already. Why do I have to get to level 8?
No,
You know what I mean?
Paul, when you get something where you just want to jam out to your favorite song and
Right,
you have to
I hear
play
you.
20 levels before you get
I
to
hear
it.
you. That's because Rock Band's a new kind of game. Like
Yeah.
there hadn't been games
It
like
hadn't
that
really
before,
been
so
done
they had to
before.
kind of reinvent it as you go. And I agree with you that it makes sense to just let us have access to all this stuff because it's not the type of game. But their thinking was, you had these templates from other video games. So
yeah. Anyway, that's some new stuff that I wanted to say about God of War Ragnarok. I am enjoying it. I think
Yeah.
it's great. Is it blowing me away? Is it like something that's like the second coming? It's more of the God of War from 2018, which is absolutely superb, but it's not.
Yeah, it's just
not-
fine.
it's not like the second coming or anything.
No, it isn't. It is great though. I mean, I
It is
know
great.
we're sounding a little bit down on it, but
Yeah.
it's still such a fucking.
can-
It's a blast to play. I mean,
I've-
when you get in a good boss fight, it is top notch.
Yeah, I've never played Elden Ring, but I feel like Elden Ring should still be everybody's game of the year because it sounds like Elden Ring's just been doing things that video games haven't done. Whereas God of War is like, oh, we've done this before. This is like similar stuff, and it actually makes me want to play Elden Ring.
No, I think the thing with Elden Ring is that's like a progression from Dark Souls and all the other
Yeah.
games they've made to this open world Dark Souls, basically.
Yeah,
So it's this massive progression from where they started to where they
Yeah.
are now, I guess.
yeah. As I said, it makes me want to play it because I'm
It's on my Steam list, you can play it anytime you like.
I don't play it.
Play it,
PC.
just play it, Chinny,
I don't
just
play
play it.
PC
Just
games.
Play it. You can just play,
Play
it.
it.
Just play it.
Just play
It's on
it.
my Steam list, man.
Not PC games. No.
Just play it like a console game with a
Don't care.
controller. It's
No,
fine.
I don't like it. I don't like it.
You're
very
just a
much.
weirdo.
You're a weirdo. Anyway.
No, you're a weirdo.
God of War Ragnarok. I'm done. All right, let's talk about something else.
You're a weirdo. I'll talk about other stuff before we talk about the game we've all played together. So I played some more Shady Part of Me,
Oh, yeah.
which Duke
Oh,
very
yeah.
kindly purchased.
Oh yeah. I
That's
never-
right. You gotta
Uh,
play the whole thing, or I'm gonna beat you up.
Well, I'm sort of some way into it. I haven't played the whole
Yeah.
thing, but I'm getting into
Well, you
it.
should. I'm gonna beat
I
you
like
up.
it a lot, I've got to say. And what's cool is it's a great pick up and put down game. You can play a couple of levels,
Yeah.
none of them
Oh,
are
yeah,
too
totally.
long.
Totally.
So I played probably about 5 or 6 levels this week.
Mhm.
And then I was like, playing something else. It's a really well crafted game. Everything looks great.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's
Absolutely.
it's really nice art style. I
the-
like
the-
the sound.
Yeah, and I think one
Ooh.
thing I'm noticing as I look at the footage that we're on have on the screen is like, I think that the one thing it does well, this contributes to the elegance of the game, is that the visual language is so clear. You know what I mean? Like you know that the branches with the spikes on them that means death for the shadow
Yep.
character, right? Most other things are, you can jump on them or get near them. It's not a big deal. But as soon as you hit those spikes, it's like, you're done.
Yep.
So yeah, I just can't say enough about how
Yeah, I
much
think
like
it's
this game.
great. What I really like about it is just its simplicity to an extent. The way the puzzles
Yeah.
are designed is quite simple.
Yeah.
And I really like that the doves themselves are kind of a puzzle within the puzzle.
Yeah,
You know what
I
I
think
mean?
I
'Cause-
mentioned this last time, but like as
Yeah.
soon as I realized that was an extra little bonus thing, I was like, "Fuck this!" Maybe someday I'll do another playthrough and get them all. But
Yeah.
not
I
right
like
now.
the fact you've got to try and figure out. You can know it's quite often you can see them, but it's like, how do I
Yeah.
get to that?
Yeah, sure.
Like the bit with the train, it took me a minute or two to figure out how to get through. The
Yeah.
train level. There's one
Yep.
in a position, but the train's always in front of you.
right.
So there didn't seem to be a way to get to it. And then I was like, how do I get that? And then it dawned on me, I know how I need to get to that. And I quite like puzzles like that, where it suddenly just clicks and you think,
Yeah,
that's
I feel like the main thing for me with those is like I'd gotten through with the main puzzle, and I was like, I could go back and try to get that bird, but you know what? Fuck that. I'm done. I finished
Yeah.
the main puzzle. I'm just gonna move on.
No, I quite like it. I like the fact there's a little bit of extra stuff there if you just want to do it. But you don't if you don't.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I
It's
quite
awesome.
like that about this game. So yes, I will definitely. I mean, it's not a long game from what I can gather, so there's no reason that I'll just
There's no
keep
reason
playing
you
it on.
shouldn't have it done
And
already.
it's the perfect game for the Steam Deck. Just chuck it on, play a bit,
Sure.
stop a bit, play a bit. Works
Play a bit,
perfectly.
stop a bit, go for
Play
it.
a bit, stop a bit, play something else. It's great.
Yeah.
Right, Duke, what else have you been playing? Or shall we talk about the game we all played this week?
Can do. Why not?
Can we do that?
Somerville
Somerville.
is a game from what? One of the Inside people?
The main design, I think it was the main designer of Inside
Yeah.
and Limbo.
Right. And so, this is one of those games where it's like
High hopes.
3D platforming, 2D platforming. Like, who likes those games? Get it? Because I was all agog about Shady Part of Me last week, and now I'm
Yeah.
pretending like I don't like.
I
3D
know.
Although I will say, like, I feel like I kind of gorged myself on that kind of gameplay last week, and so this week when I looked at it, I was like, So I played it a little bit. I didn't really play a whole lot. I can't really talk much about it. I mean, it's the graphics are stunning. It really has another world or whatever it was called.
Yes,
over
that was
there
the first
vibe.
thing that came. I mean, obviously, a lot of people are comparing it to War of the Worlds.
Yeah, sure.
But for me, I totally thought Another World. As soon,
Yeah.
even I'll be honest with you, boy, oh boy, oh boy, right? I want to love this game so much because I love the soundtrack, I love the graphics, I love the stylistic choices they've made. I think
Yeah.
it looks fucking incredible. But fuck me, the controls are fucking horrible.
The controls were pretty janky. at
Horrible. I
times.
mean,
agree with
horrible.
that.
There
Yeah.
are sections later on in the game where you've got to do stuff quick and be
Yeah.
precise. And this, the control scheme in this game
Yeah.
is not made for quick or precise.
Yeah,
It
that
is-
makes me not want to really. I don't know.
the amount of
that's a
times I've
discouraging
died because I
factor,
got stuck on a bit of scenery.
Yeah.
I'm just like I couldn't count them, and it's
Like at the beginning of the game, you're dozing with your wife and your kid wakes up and they go wandering around and you're controlling the kid as it wanders around. And like even that was like I was like, God damn it, we move over there, come on. And it felt frustrating to control.
It is
and it's like a
frustrating.
tutorial just to show you how things work.
it's
And that
like
was
right.
buggy as hell. So.
It's like the developers made a game for me personally that is something like 98% great and 2% fucking shit, and the 2% is the fucking bit that really counts.
Here's
No.
a question I keep thinking about. Like,
Oh,
did it have to be 3D?
I don't know.
Because I think the beauty of Inside is that it doesn't. I mean, it goes into the third dimension at times, but you don't have to worry about controlling that third dimension. That makes a world of difference.
I mean, Chinny, you've not said anything yet. What do you think?
He played it for 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know he's muted. Maybe
He's
Are you
watching a
muted?
Let's Play right now.
No.
Yeah, he
Sorry,
is.
no. I definitely played it. How far did you get?
I'm quite a way in. I'm at Glastonbury. That'll
No,
probably
I'm
tell you
further
where I
than
am.
you.
Oh, you're further than me.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was cool. I mean, there's some cool nods to stuff, and I'm like, when I saw the pyramid stage in the background, I'm like, that's fucking cool.
Is that Glastonbury? Is it?
Yeah, pyramid
Oh, is it?
stage is in
Yeah.
the background.
Tara was next to me when I was playing it. She was watching me play it, and she liked it. She got really worried because the dog doesn't join you during that bit.
Yeah, you lose a dog a couple of times.
Yeah. No, I think it's good. I have sort of like a higher tolerance for bad controls.
No, I'll be honest, right? I'm persevering because I love everything else about it. If I didn't
think-
love everything else about it, I would have probably put this down straight away and thought, fuck this, I ain't playing this.
It does. I think Duke's right though. It does lose something. It being in 3D, it loses.
I know why they did it, because obviously it's cool to walk around these environments and do other stuff, but
It loses its elegance. I think.
Oh, definitely. Even trying to line yourself up with a light switch is a chore.
There was one part in the
Oh.
Glastonbury thing where you have to walk across this girder, right?
Oh God, does it not stick to it?
And it's not clear. You have to at the end of the girder, you have to walk off, right?
Yeah.
And it just wasn't clear to me that where to walk off.
Well, I had that going over the top of a car, and I kept trying. I'm like, why am I?
Yeah.
And then when I looked at it again, I thought, oh, I'm in the slightly in the wrong place. I
Yeah.
need to be there. And then
The
I
same with
realized where I
grabbing
should have been.
things as well.
Oh,
And I
grabbing,
also
yeah.
think there's another problem with this game, which is I don't think the puzzles in the game are as intuitive
No,
as they've
the-
previously
the
been.
bu- I'll
Some
give you
of
an
it, some of it is like, I can't believe I worked that out. That was lucky
Yeah.
because I
I'll
was
give you
dicking
a
about.
prime example of that: the bucket puzzle. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
I don't even know how I worked that out.
The bucket in the well, right?
Yeah.
I realized I worked out I could dip it in the shiny water. So I was
Yeah.
like, so then I'm trying to carry it. and I'm thinking,
Oh right.
why is it? Why am I? I can't get far enough for them to do anything. What am I doing wrong here? And it took me ages, and then I suddenly thought, oh, so I did finally work it out, but I was sat there puzzling over it for probably about 15 minutes.
So
and
that
trying
one,
different
that
things.
that bucket
20
puzzle that
minutes.
you're talking about, I sort of just
Oh.
did. There's an example where I know what the game wants me to do, but I don't really know why I'm doing it. There's a lot of that in this game. It's like I know that I've got to push this minecart down here, but I have no idea why I'm going to do it. But I know that's what's going to happen. And then there was another one where, there's a few where like I just think there was one where you wrap the lights around a tree and raise it up.
I see. I haven't got to that one yet.
So you wrap this cord around a tree,
right?
And when I did it, I was like, I cannot believe that I did that because I did that by complete fluke.
Yeah.
And I don't think I would have worked that out. And then there was another
see, I'll
one.
tell you.
There was another one where I just.
There's a lot of examples.
There was like one where I don't even know what I did, and I did it. Do you know what I mean? Like I don't even know.
Yeah, yeah.
And then when I got to the stage, have you got to the UFO on the stage thing?
UFO on the stage thing.
No,
I
you'd
don't
know what I'm talking
think
about.
so.
You'd know what
Yeah, I
I'm
definitely
talking about.
haven't then. Yeah, I haven't then.
So that's like sort of like the Glastonbury bit, and I was doing that, and when I got to the stage, I did that sort of classic thing that you do in Portal and things like that, where you overthink it, and you're like, oh, it's actually a lot simpler than it. And I was there for like 10 minutes. So it's happened to you. It's happened to me. Not on the same.
Oh, it's
puzzle.
happened loads of times.
Not on the
Well,
same
here's-
puzzle, but
here's-
it's this
No.
case of like the game doesn't educate you enough to know what to do,
No,
and you just
I'll
left
tell
there
you
10
another
minutes.
great example, right? Because most of the A stuff is grabbing, yeah. So most
Yeah.
of like A stuff, you just
Or
grabbing
X.
stuff.
You can use it.
Most environmental stuff, it does automatic, like climb over stuff, go under stuff, whatever it is.
Except for
right?
ladders.
Except for ladders, right?
Yeah.
Totally agree. But there's a bit where you have to hide in a tent, right?
Yeah.
The amount of times I've ran towards the tent and just thought I mustn't be in the exact right place for him to go inside it, and I went again, and he's just bouncing backwards and forwards at the entrance. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? And then I suddenly thought, do I have to press A? And then I pressed A, and he ducks inside the tent. I'm like, why are some other places it just does it, and this one I have to press A to get inside the fucking tent? Oh, and it's stuff like that because the whole experience is almost like a movie, like type experience, the way they've done it. But stuff like that just breaks the immersion. Do you know what I mean? When you fucking trying, and even like pressing the switch, getting your hand in the exact right pixel place for him to grab hold of the switch.
It's a tricky problem because the game is the game is like a movie, like you say, Stu. But the game developers have a tricky problem where if you're making a puzzle game, you need to make the puzzles hard enough to be fun, but easy enough so it doesn't frustrate
Yeah,
you.
but why do you
and
need to press A to hide inside the tent?
I don't know. But look, I did that thing straight away, but I spam the A button a lot when I'm panicking. So maybe that's how I figured it out. But what I'm saying is, as a developer, like for me to be stuck on a puzzle for 10 minutes because I can't work out how to get somewhere in a game that's so immersive, it doesn't present itself as a puzzle game.
I'll be honest, right? You know, when you very first wake up in the cellar, I spent 15 minutes wandering around inside there. Like, what can I
me
interact
too.
with?
I had no
I can't
idea what I
interact
was
with
supposed to be doing
anything.
in
What
that
the hell am I
moment.
supposed to do here?
Yeah.
Do I duck
And
underneath
I
here?
didn't realize too the first part before that even when you're supposed to feed the dog, like your lady is changing the kid or putting him to give it bed or whatever, and I was going outside. I went in the basement.
Yeah,
I'm like, what
did
am I doing?
that.
And then
I did
eventually I
that.
realized, oh, I can pick up this dog food and feed the dog.
Yeah, but
like the dog should have been barking because then
Yeah,
I would know,
exactly.
oh, it's something to do with the dog.
But if you go in the basement before he gets the bowl, the light doesn't come on, so you're just wandering around in the dark in the basement.
I didn't even realize he got the bowl, I guess.
Yeah, he goes and gets the bowl.
So they
because
did
you
try
have
to
to
tell
open
me that
his
was the
kennel to
dog.
get the bowl, don't
Oh,
you?
okay.
Yeah, I had no problems with the things that you were talking about.
Well, you're just brilliant at
I am-
games.
I am-
and you're terrible.
I am great at games, but there is instances of that for me as well. There are examples of me where I'm like, I have no idea what to do. I have like not an inkling. And I just feel like inside, I never had that.
No, you always knew what you had to do.
I always had like, I know it's this, do you know, but I just haven't figured it out. But I know it's this.
Or like, you know, I mean, I'm thinking there are moments in Inside. I'm thinking specifically about like when you're swimming and trying to get away from the demon lady.
Yeah.
Like, you know, there's that one puzzle where you got to swing the thing, and you know, there's some stuff that was like timing based, and it was tough to figure out how to do it. But I never felt like I would never get it, or I never felt
I never felt like it
bewildered,
was.
or
I might
like
have
I
to
was
go
just gonna
look
be touching
online.
stuff at random. And it makes me think about Myst. When Myst first came out, there was a thing in the instruction book that said, be deliberative. Don't just click on everything you see. That's not how this game works. And I feel like Somerville, that kind of is how this game works.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
The moment,
Yeah, it
the
is
better
moment,
than your
totally how this
average
game works.
3D
So this-
platformer, but it's, you know.
So this is like, this is very, for people that sort of want to know what the game's about. It's a little bit of a mix between like, it's like the Close Encounters of the Third Kind and War of the Worlds and all
Oh,
that
there's
sort of
definitely
stuff.
nods. I mean, the
And-
bit where the little kid goes up to the door is a massive nod to Close Encounters.
Yeah, and it's pretty. I mean, the moment when, let's talk about some positives. The moment when the aliens arrive is
it's
brilliant.
amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
The
Very
setup,
well done. The
the
graphics,
mundane setup of
yeah.
it is just brilliant. The fact that it's
Sure.
just you doing your day to day and coming home
I mean,
from
you
work.
you,
or
you got
whatever.
a sense of foreboding as it opens
Oh.
up. The music
Yeah.
and like you can tell something heavy's
The
about to happen.
sound.
But I
can
thought it
just
was going to be
say-
more building up of that.
Can I just
Yeah.
say, music I thought was excellent. I think the music in this game is top notch.
It's absolutely brilliant. And I think even a bad Inside game is a good game. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those
Yeah, yeah.
things. It's like
Right.
like a bad Mass Effect game is a good game. Like what I used to say about Andromeda. Second mention of Andromeda this episode, by the way.
Yeah.
So I think it's disappointing because they've Limbo and Inside had such a good track record that Somerville just isn't as, it just straight away I sort of felt like I love the setting. I love Steven Spielberg movies. I love all of this. I love the whole atmosphere.
I actually,
the vibe.
can I just say, I love the fact that the main character looks like you, Chinny.
He does look like me a
He
lot.
does look like you.
Yeah, he does
Same
look like me.
tallness. He's tall as well. And
Yeah,
I'm like,
I was like,
I'm
yeah,
playing as Chinny.
yeah.
First thing I thought.
So yeah, he does look like me actually.
He
Other than
does
that, my
look a lot
hair's
like
a lot
you.
longer these days.
He does look a lot like you, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yeah. I wouldn't have survived this long though. I would have been dead on the first like bam explosion.
He is, can I just say, and another immersion breaking thing for me, bros, right at the beginning of the game is, how did she get out?
Well, we don't know.
Because she just disappears, but like you
Yeah, but she
can't
could be
get
dead.
out by pulling stuff down and melting stuff.
No, but she
So
could
where
be
did
dead.
she get out?
She could
Well, I
be dead.
guess.
Well, yeah,
No, but I'm
that-
assuming
Right, and
you're
that
making
stuff
your
might
way
have
to it.
collapsed after she left. Like,
Possibly,
there's
I
a lot
did
of
think that.
possibilities
I did think that.
Yeah.
But he
I'm not
was a
sure
little
about
bit like, how did she get out?
No, I think you're being too harsh now.
Maybe. Maybe.
But this whole vibe of like aliens and you're in the house that's in the sticks, and I love it. I love all of that.
I do.
This is my probably, in terms of setting and atmosphere,
Yeah.
my favorite game that this guy has done. Right, because I prefer this sort of atmosphere than Inside and Limbo.
Yeah,
but-
like a real life setting.
yeah,
rather
like
than
this like
something made up.
alien like fucked up stuff. And the fact that it's set in England as well, and it's like through Glastonbury, and there's like British police cars and stuff. That's nice. However, I it is disappointing that with such a good track record, this is probably the least.
I mean, it's
strongest.
Not, let's
game
just be
they've made,
clear.
or
This is
he's
a new
made.
develop. It's a new
Well,
development.
it's this.
company, so it isn't the
From what I
whole
know,
team.
it's two people that were sort of in charge of Limbo and
Yeah.
Inside, and they
Yeah.
split up, didn't they? And one made one,
Yeah.
and one made the other. And this is one guy's project, and the other guy's not released his yet.
Yeah.
But I mean, but all the ingredients are
Ugh.
there, aren't they? I mean, it feels
Yeah,
like the
I
same
think
game.
that's why I think that's why I'm so frustrated because, like I said earlier, it's 98% great.
Yeah, yeah.
And
It's
in
almost
some
And
cases,
it's not
that's worse than a
2%.
90% great game because you know
Yeah.
how close it is to perfection.
Yeah.
I think I'm wondering how some of it just feels like maybe if there was a bit more time in showing you how, maybe you look a bit more clues on how to show you how this puzzle worked.
Oh,
would work.
it very tells you. I mean, even I'll be honest with you, that first bit when it was, even if it just highlighted the area
Yeah.
it had to interact with,
Yeah,
because it
that
doesn't
would
even
be,
do that.
No, it doesn't even do that. It does. It does.
It just expects you to just wander around aimlessly for a bit.
a
until you
lot of
figure it out.
my finding things out have been quite lucky. Really, I feel like I've.
You see, I had a
breezed
bit.
through.
Do you know the bit where you go through the circus tent?
Yeah.
I got zapped about 15 times, right? Because I kept trying to go down the side. I'm like, there's a walkway with cover down the side. Why won't it let me go down there? And then I went, oh, I must have to go in the middle first then. And but
Yeah.
it's like I got zapped about 5 times. I'm like, why do I keep getting zapped?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just not clear all the time where you have to go. And maybe I'm just being a bit dense. I don't know.
No,
Well,
I mean,
I just-
I'm looking back at like we've got the footage now where you first wake up in the basement, which is what you two sort of got stuck on.
Yeah.
And I remember like moving this plank of wood by complete luck.
You see, I think this guy who's playing it, because it just cut then, I think
Yeah,
he
it
was
cut.
probably wandering around for
yeah,
quite a while
he
before
definitely,
he
he's
figured out
definitely
what
cut,
to
he's
do.
cut it a couple of times.
Yeah.
But I
Because
yeah,
it's just not clear.
but I got out of that basement really, really quickly.
Yeah.
But again, there are other parts of this game where I've got stuck on for like 10 minutes. So it hasn't happened too often for me, but it's definitely
No.
happened, and it's frustrating because if you don't present a game as a puzzle game, being stuck for 10 minutes is really frustrating. Like the game Doors Paradox that we were playing a
Yeah.
few weeks ago. That's a puzzle game, so you don't actually mind sitting there going, right, how am I going to do this? Whereas this game is so immersive, so interesting, and it's got such a cool atmosphere that you just want to progress and see what's
You don't
next.
want to break the
You
immersion.
don't want to stop. You don't want to like
Yeah.
stop this like movement. But unfortunately, now
progression.
and again it happens. I think it's almost there. I think the fact that it's 3D does lose this elegance that the other ones have. But I still think I'm glad that they're trying to do new stuff with this. With this developer is
I love
trying to like push the boat. I think for me, it's
Definitely.
just about the hint system. That there was a little bit of like nodding to where you've got to go. Just is
Even
missing.
right, something that would even just fix some of the just sort of the minor niggly issues is like having just a bigger pixel area that you can interact with.
Yeah.
So if you go to something that you have to interact with, like a switch or a fuse box or whatever, as long as you're within, you know, a centimeter of it, it should just automatically glue to it like all other games do. You know, not have this what's going backwards and forwards about four
Or
times.
like a
until you get the
vibration
exact-
on your controller or something. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like
Just something to make it a little bit easier and not
Yeah.
frustrating that you know, you're trying to position yourself in the exact spot you need to be in.
But you know what? Like I can sort of forgive it because you know you look at scenes like this now where you first walk out of the house in the morning and stuff.
Mm.
They're so,
I agree.
They're so good.
I
They're
totally
so
agree.
good.
And like you say, the sound, the music,
Yeah.
everything's
good.
there's a lot of great stuff.
Yeah.
But oh my god, it's so frustrating. And this is what pisses me off more than anything when there's a game so close to being
Yeah.
amazing and it just
It's not like it's
falls
not
short
like,
of stuff that's not fixable.
it's not like 12 minutes where
Oh.
12 minutes was like straight out the gate. This is just bad. Like this is an example of a game that's like so close to being brilliant.
But you see, 12 minutes is another great example of a game that had such a great premise and could have been amazing and just was
Yeah.
screwed up because of
But
choices they
but this
made.
is way better than 12
Oh,
minutes.
yeah, it
you know what I
is.
mean?
Oh,
This
yeah,
is
yeah,
like,
yeah.
This is not as unbearable. This is. I'm gonna finish this. Like I'm
I
disappointed.
am.
Yeah,
I
I'm
must
gonna
admit,
finish
as
it.
much as it frustrates me, I still want to find out what's going to happen, and I still
Yeah.
want to continue to play it.
Yeah.
So I mean, and that's a sign of a good game. That's just not quite good enough.
Yeah.
Oh,
Anybody else?
It's a
wanna
good game that we want to be great. Like that's
yes,
the, you
That's
know,
the
definitely.
problem, yeah.
And a couple of
that's the problem.
patches,
Like
a couple of patches might fix that.
I doubt
No,
they're
no,
gonna do it. Doubt it.
I doubt they're going to do that. But I mean, you know, it reminds us of the importance of beta testing, and then you know,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think
Surely
having
people
with
who were
fresh
trying
eyes on
this
it
out
being like-
were going, this control screen is a bit jank, you know.
Well, and the other thing is, you know,
Gang.
there may have been people in the beta test who go, you know, do we really need 3 dimensions? But by then they've built the whole goddamn game up.
But
so it's
also,
like-
yeah, I mean, there's the familiarity thing as well. It's like if you play a game long enough, you get
Right.
familiar with how janky the
oh, yeah,
controls are.
absolutely. Sure,
So
sure,
then you
sure.
almost become blind to it.
And the question I'm sure comes up like, do you want to be that guy who's like,
Yeah.
I don't really like this, you know, because
Yeah.
you just look like you kind of suck at games, maybe.
yeah,
I've never done a beta test, I don't really know, but I
some
would
of
probably
it.
be
All,
bad at beta.
so our verdict is good, not great.
Good, not great. Could
good,
be
could
good.
be
Very
great.
good, not great.
Could be
yeah.
Very
great.
good,
Yeah,
could
definitely.
be
Close to
great.
great.
Could be
Very
great.
good, yeah. I agree.
Great. Well, great.
Great.
That was a great discussion
All right.
about a very good game.
Yeah.
That could be great.
Could be great.
Yeah. Who's up? Chinny? Stu?
I don't know actually, but I can talk about the last. I've only got one more thing to talk about, really,
Go.
Go ahead.
which is Resident Evil: Shadows of Rose DLC, because I have finished that game.
Oh, snap.
I'm quite impressed. You know what? Everyone's like, "Oh, it's not that great. It's just more Resident Evil. It's a bit like like B-rate horror movie." I actually quite enjoyed this. I thought it was pretty good. It's 4 hours long. It were 12 quid. I feel like I got my money's worth.
Cool.
Don't get me wrong. They stole wholesale from Doctor Who, but it worked very effectively in the game. And I'll give you a hint as to what probably happens. The Weeping Angels, if you don't know what that is from Doctor Who, you've never watched Doctor Who.
Nope.
But there's a Weeping Angels
I know what the Daleks
level. No, the Weeping Angels are probably the best scary monsters in Doctor Who.
Well, I'm just saying, like I've watched some Doctor Who. I know the Daleks.
Yeah.
That's
but
the
yes,
real test if you anyway. Go on.
but it was the way they did that level, just that bit was genius. I mean, the rest of it's fairly humdrum and kind of what you expect from a Resident Evil game. But just that one level was
I don't like the
great.
way the character runs.
It's all right. I didn't mind the animations. They were
She
fine.
runs
It was a bit
sort of
weird.
like every anime character
Yeah, she does.
with her
That
little
is totally
fists out like this. Like
Yeah, she does.
I don't like that. That's not how normal women or men run.
No,
So
but
it's a no.
I was
from me.
quite impressed. It was nice to revisit some of the locations in Village, obviously, and that's all they've done. I mean, there's no new assets in this. They've just taken scenes scenes and localities.
Was it scary?
No, I wouldn't have said scary. There was, like I say, the only scary bit, and I did get some goosebumps. Can I just say? Was a bit like I say that it's all the weeping. Anyone who's watched Doctor Who will know exactly what I'm talking about when I say the weeping angels.
I'm not a Doctor Who fan, I'm afraid. Stu.
See, but I don't want to say it, for those who don't watch Doctor Who to spoil it, because I was just like, fucking so creepy.
Yeah.
Properly creepy. So not scary, but there was, like I said, that level of so creepy.
Yeah.
But I like that. But it's good. If you know what, if you can pick it up in the sale at the moment, or it's cheap enough, I would just buy this. It's if you like Resident Evil, it's 4 hours of more Resident Evil, really. So it's pretty good.
Mm.
There you go. That's it. I'm done. See,
Uh,
I'm not even going to talk about anything else
Jenny,
now.
go ahead.
Done.
I've just been playing more
Snap.
Marvel Snap. Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
God,
Okay.
I
he's
won't
gone
go
down
on-
the
I
rabbit
won't-
hole of
I
Snap.
won't bang on about it too much, but I just bloody love that game. It's just so good.
Yeah.
And yeah, I sometimes I just sort of make a deck of because you unlock cards all the time in Marvel Snap, and it's quite comfortable to stick to the cards that you know. So sometimes I just make a new deck and I just only put in cards that I've never used, just to sort of level them up and just to try new things and just go, oh, I wonder what this card does. And sometimes you see other people using a card quite a lot, the same cards come up and you're like, oh, people always use that one, like Ironheart, which is like the female Iron Man thing. A lot of people use that. And you're like, yeah, should do that.
That's there's a really good series of graphic novels written by Eve Ewing about Ironheart.
So that Ironheart card comes up all the time, and I'm like, yeah, I should use that. And then, yeah, it's brilliant. It's simple. It's perfect. It's on the phone, designed for the phone, perfect layout, so much fun. Drop in, drop out, great, addictive. Marvel Snap, still playing it.
There you go. Anything else from you, Duke?
Yes, there is. When I was looking at the Xbox Game Pass, I noticed that EA has a bunch of games that are like these come with
Play the game.
It's in a game.
It's a
they
game.
come with your Game Pass.
Oh, is that what it is? I knew it was something.
No, it's called it's EA Sports. It's in the game.
It's in the game.
I always thought it was play the game. That's how old I am.
That's the worst.
Let's go ahead and just spend some time deliberating on what the actual logo is.
In the game.
You're wrong.
Play the game.
Shut up. All
Play
right.
the game.
So EA has some games that are, they're included with Game Pass. So I had to replace the Origin app, which is weird, but whatever. I got the new EA app. Okay, fine. And Battlefield 2042 is one of them. And I had a student actually write about this game. One of his first assignments was write about anything you want. And the first sentence was, Battlefield 2042 is not a bad game. And I was like, okay, fair enough. But I haven't had a chance to play it yet. So I have downloaded it, but I haven't played it yet. What I did play is Need for Speed Payback.
Oh.
Because I always
okay.
like a good racing game, and I'm still playing Forza Horizon 4 at some point, maybe. I don't know. It's still installed. I will go back to it, perhaps. But in the meantime, Need for Speed Payback is a more arcadey kind of game, and it's fun. I'm actually really enjoying it. I didn't care for the last Need for Speed game that I tried.
Is this the
whatever that was
latest
called.
Need for Speed? Is this the newest
I
one?
can't keep track. I have no idea which one is the
Oh,
most
okay. This
recent.
one came out in 2017.
Okay, that sounds right. I'm looking to see what the last Need for Speed Heat was the last one I played, which I think is more recent, but whatever. So okay, once again, the story takes itself way too seriously.
Yeah.
The mechanics are fine. I have it set on easy because I'm just like, I don't want to stress about this. I'm not the best gamer ever when it comes to racing games. I just like to run around and drive stuff. But today I realized the first time I played it, I was just like, look, I'm the type of person when I play a racing game, I never want to take my hand off the accelerator. At all times, I should just be going full speed. That's not the way you play a racing game, right?
Yeah.
If it's really arcadey, then yes, you do play it that way. But most racing games, you gotta occasionally take your foot off the gas and like maneuver and go a little slower in order to maneuver. Like that's just racing 101. But my impulse is always like, go faster, go faster, go faster. So, yeah, these cutscenes, man, I reached a point where I was just skipping them. I
Yeah.
couldn't care less. I'm just like,
It really
okay,
wants to be the
someone
Fast and
double-crossed.
Furious. Yeah.
It really does. It's so exhausting. And, it's like, I didn't get into this game to make friends and blah, blah, blah. I was just like, shut up. But the funny thing is, once they get to your actual racing, like, okay, at one point, this is the first part of the game we're looking at here. The lady in the tan coat's about to double cross you, whatever. You think that the
no.
Indian mechanic guy is going to be dead. He looks dead, but then he's not dead. He's only mostly dead. But anyway, so then the team gets split up and you're all doing different things. So you're driving for this person. You're in like Las Vegas, basically. They don't call it Las Vegas, but it's funny because, the opening narration is like, I wrote down a line. Those of us born in the shadow of the casino, we play hard and we bet it all on the. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Give me a break.
I like it.
Anyway,
I
so
like it.
you get double crossed, and then
It sounds like some
you're-
seriously well written lines. though.
Yeah, yeah. Looks
But
good.
here's the thing: look, when you're so everyone's scattered, right? And then you're trying to get the team back together because you need to get revenge or whatever the fuck's going on. And the lady that you're rolling with is like, you call her and she's like, hang on a second, I'm gonna have to put you on hold for a second. And she's like, hurry up. And it pulls back. This guy got shot in the stomach. They're coming out of the casino. He's like, drive. I'm like, holy shit, this is actually interesting now.
Yeah.
So you're like getting them out of there, and there's cops coming after you, and you can like, this is what we had in Most Wanted back in the day. You can like fishtail the cop cars so that they spin out, and then they do the slow motion thing where the cop car is like,
Yeah.
and you're like, yes, I took him down. It's so satisfying. And like, that's what I want from a Need for Speed game. Stop trying to be Forza. Stop trying to be, Fast and Furious. Like, do what you do well, right? Burnout, I guess that wasn't Need for Speed, but,
It's the
Most
same.
Wanted,
It's the same developer though. That's-
fine.
Yeah.
The point is, like, that's what I want from an arcadey racer. You know what I mean?
Is
Like,
it
the graphics are
Criterion
fine.
who do this?
Criteria. Yeah.
Yeah, it is
Probably.
Criterion, isn't it?
It's the taking down of the cop cars is so nice. And I'm like, when you're trying to get away and it's like, there's one more left. And it's like, all right, I got you. It's like,
Yeah.
take him down.
Yeah.
And I wonder if I'm able to get away with so much because I have it on easy. Maybe I should put it on medium and see if because my car's getting like smashed to pieces. I'm
Yeah,
running
but where's the
head-on
fun
into-
when there's a challenge?
Well, exactly. I'm like, whatever. I don't really
Well,
want to
who
challenge
cares,
exactly.
man? I
But
think
on the
these
other
old
hand,
games,
like,
it doesn't
but
matter.
I don't know. It might be more satisfying even to know that my car could explode in a fireball, but I managed to get away just in time or something.
I
Anyway,
guess.
it's good. It's fun. Yeah, and then the other dude, there's this British guy who's like,
Or what, Mark
he's-
Gavner?
yeah, but
he's
he's been hired by this like influencer dude who's like taking selfies and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, all right, I want you to like, how'd you get so good at drifting? And he's like, oh, I had to do it in the streets of London because it was how we got away from the
So
bobbies."
easy, Cockney. Is that what you're telling us?
Of course he
No,
is.
I'm just bad at doing British accents. And anyway, so the influencer dude's like, all right, I want you to really punch it. Let's get some views on this puppy. And he's like, really? He's like, yeah, do it. And then of course, the guy's throwing up by the time you get done, and you're like, hey, get out of the car if you're gonna puke. So that's the thing, is some of the story is actually kind of fun to watch as you're playing it. I just wish they would cut down on the cutscenes, you know.
I don't think I've ever
mate.
I don't think I've ever played a racing game where you go get out of my car before you puke before.
I think I have.
Have you?
It's in a few games. I'm pretty sure.
In a
some
few
I think
Saints
there's
Row
a
had that.
scene in GTA
Yeah.
5, I want to say, where someone spews up in the car or spews up outside your car.
Yeah. It's
Certainly in Saints
definitely
Row,
in
you're
there.
doing those pimping missions.
But
where
I
you have
kind
people
of
getting on in the
expect
car.
that to an extent because it's GTA and that does shit like
I'm
that.
sure there's one in Mafia where you've got to like scare the guy. Do you know what I mean? And you've got to
Yeah,
drive
that's a kind of
erratically
standard
or
trope
something
in a
like
lot of
that. I
these
think that's the
games,
thing.
yeah.
So
So
I've
anyway,
just
Need
looked.
for Speed Payback, thumbs up. I'm liking it.
I've just looked at. I'm going to read. There are
Okay.
so many Need for Speed games.
Yes.
Right. I'm going to read. Not it's called like
You
Need
might
for
say we
Speed.
don't need any more of these.
Like Need for Speed Heat, right? You know the Heat bit. I'm going to
Right,
read
yeah,
all the names of the
Okay, the
games that come after the
subtitles, right,
that come
yes.
after the word
Okay.
speed, right?
Right. Okay.
So we got-
Let's hear him.
We got 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 is Hot Pursuit. Then we got High Stakes, Porsche Unleashed, Hot Pursuit 2, Underground,
Yes.
Underground 2, Most Wanted, Carbon,
Yeah.
Pro Street.
Oh, Sorry, I have to stop you. Carbon may be my favorite racing game of all time. It's such a glorious game.
Carbon.
Go on.
Carbon was 2006. Pro Street, Undercover, Shift, Nitro, World, Hot Pursuit again. Shift. This isn't even called Need for Speed 2 now. It's just called Shift 2 Unleashed.
Shift 2.
Then we go back
Right.
to Need for Speed. The
Because
Run.
Shift was when they were trying to be Forza. They were
Yeah.
like, we're going to make a realistic racing game. Like,
The
no,
ru-
stop it.
The Run, Most
The Run,
Wanted,
yeah.
Rivals, No Limits,
Yep.
and then it's just Need for Speed 2015. Payback, Heat,
Payback.
and then the one that's coming out this year, 2nd of December, is called Unbound.
Okay. They're just
Jesus
pick a random
Christ.
adjective or noun
Yeah.
and put it on
Shall we?
there.
What should the next Need for Speed be called? What should we call it?
Colostomy.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. Need for Speed Bridge Jumper. I don't know.
Need for Speed, whatever.
Yeah.
I think
I don't know. There's a lot of Need for Speeds. I
a
think
lot of them.
just-
Lot of them. There's a few cancelled
just
ones as well.
established.
There's Need for Speed V Rally, Need for Speed 64, V Rally 2, Need for Speed Web Racing, Need for Speed Top Speed.
Need for Speed. Why not?
Need for Speed Millionaire. That was one that was
Need for a
cancelled.
lot of speed. Real need
Yeah.
for speed.
A lot of them. They're,
Desperate need.
yeah,
for
it's a weird franchise, Need for Speed.
speed.
And even as a movie, which
Even as a movie.
starring Aaron Paul.
car scenes,
Okay.
cutscenes aren't good enough in the game. There's no reason to just stretch it out into a movie, guys.
Well, one of them was FMV cutscenes. I don't know which one it was, but it was one of them. I think it was like
Yeah.
Payback.
I remember
or-
Carbon had those. Yeah, Carbon had
Oh, not
those.
Payback.
I remember 'cause
yeah,
it was very
Carbon.
stylized and like all these like very heavy shadows and stuff, and it was just like, what is going on?
Yeah,
and the
I think it-
characters were so over the top. But the
I think it
driving
might have
was
been
so
Need for Speed Heat actually that had the
Mm.
FMV cutscenes, which was 2019.
Yeah,
Uh,
they had a few.
Well, maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know.
I don't think he did because I think that was the one I played last, and it didn't have.
Who knows? Who knows? It's
Who
all.
knows?
It's all mad.
Anyway, all right, are we ready for some news?
We are. Just before we do that, by the way, I've got a game for us all to play next week.
Oh, okay. What's the?
I'm sure you
And the only
picked it.
reason
I'm
is,
sure you
right,
picked
I
it
was
last
go-
week, but whatever. Go on.
No, I was gonna play it because I was gonna buy it in the Steam sale. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna buy this, and it looks good. And then lo and behold, it came out on Game Pass this week.
Okay.
So I was like, I don't need to buy it after all.
What is it?
It's called Norco.
Norco? Norco?
Norco. It came out on Game Pass this very week.
You know, I think I've had that demo for a while on my.
Yeah, there was a demo.
shelf
This is
of
the full
games I wanna
game.
play.
So yeah, it's got
Hey,
very
what
good
happened to my-
reviews.
Oh, I put my 0 plays down here.
So we could
Norco.
give it a go. Norco.
Yeah, I downloaded that a long time ago for the demo, but
Yeah, it's meant to
Yeah.
be pretty good.
okay.
So we'll give it a go.
Alright.
Right, news. We have got news. I'm going to start with something that I should have talked about a few weeks ago and forgot about it.
Well, you're not going to do that yet. I'm going to play the theme song for the news.
Putting news first.
You threw me because you played the Play My Game bitch one.
That's right.
No, no. Anyway,
I'm frozen.
yeah, something that happened a few weeks back, and I don't know whether you saw this in the news. You know Palmer Luckey, who invented obviously the Quest as we know it, and sorted
Okay.
about that, and then sold it all to Facebook and went, "Give me the billions, people."
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Okay.
He has a couple of weeks ago now. He came out and said he has invented a VR headset that can actually kill you in real life if you die in the game you're playing.
Yeah, no, I saw this. This is ridiculous.
And it's
Fucking
quite. Do you know
horrible.
what though? When you listen to his reasoning, it does make sense what he's
No,
saying.
nobody should be making things that can kill you. Why are people making anything that can kill people?
Guns.
Because
Yeah, well,
Because-
the prosecution rests.
Guns are great.
he's
Yeah.
basically saying it all came about because there's a anime called Sword Art Online.
Oh wow, it was in an anime. Let's go ahead and make it for real.
Which
Jesus
is a
Christ,
Japanese
does that mean they're
novel.
gonna get all-purpose cultural cat girl Nuku Nuku in real life too?
Are you listen? Are you going to listen to what I've got
Of
to
course
say?
I'm not. I'm an American. I don't listen to other people.
Which is a Japanese novel series in which players are trapped in an online role-playing game where death in the game means death in real life
Hmm.
because they wear this what's called killer nerve gear headset
Hmm.
in the actual game world. So that if they get killed in the game, they die in real life.
Yeah, we got
So
the
what
concept
Palmer
going.
Luckey said was, the idea of tying your real life to your virtual avatar has always fascinated me. You instantly raise the stakes to the maximum level and force people to fundamentally rethink how they will interact with the virtual world and the players inside it.
Okay. Keep
Only
going.
the
Argue
threat.
with that.
Only the threat of a serious consequence can make a game feel real to you and every other person in that
Why
game.
is that much more interesting? Why is that the way we're thinking? Why not like?
Well, no, it's just this one guy thinking, I do think it's quite an interesting concept. Not that I would ever do it.
Who would?
But
Nobody
would,
should do
but-
it. Severely depressed people would do it. That's who. And we don't want to be making it easier for people to end their
No,
lives.
I think you're wrong. I think the people who would do this are these adrenaline junkies.
Fine. We
who
shouldn't
will have
make
a
it
go at
easier for
anything.
those people to end
Let's
their
be
lives.
fair. People who jump off base, who do base jumping off the sides of cliffs or tall buildings, take the life in their hands every time they do that. So
Yes,
when
they
do
do, but
it
they have to
for the
climb the
thrill.
goddamn cliff or building at least, not
yeah,
just
but there's
strap on a thing on their heads.
Yeah, but they're
It's
gonna
making
do
it
that
too
regardless
easy.
of whether they've got to climb it
God's
or
sake.
not.
Then let's just get rid of speed
It's
limits.
thrill
I mean,
seeking.
people are going to drive fast. Like what? We put barriers up to people doing stupid things. And when you make a video game that's like you can die when you play this, that's making it easier for
What
people
I'm-
to die and for no
I
good
don't
reason.
think that's
What I'm
the
interested in
reason he's
is
coming up with this.
how do you die?
Right, I will tell you if Duke gives me a second. So the bad news is, this is what he says. Bad news, so far I've only figured out the half that kills you, he wrote. The perfect VR half of the equation is still many years out. So it's
I got the death
connected.
part sorted. The
I've got the
fun
death part
gaming
sorted.
part, no, don't got
We,
it.
we just
It's-
I'm really struggling to find testers. That's my problem.
So it's connected to three So apparently, according to him, this is fully working, and if you used it, it would kill you. So it's connected to three explosive charge modules that are tied to a narrow band photo sensor, can detect when the screen flashes red at a specific frequency. So when you die in game and it flashes red, it sets
Yeah.
it off.
Yeah.
When the
Duke has,
appropriate game,
Duke has his head in his hands, but carry
I
on.
know. When the appropriate game over screen is displayed, the charges fire, instantly destroying the brain of the user.
Yeah.
So that's it. So apparently it microwaves your brain.
Yeah.
Well,
is
explodes
what
your
it does.
brain. It sounds like.
No,
right?
it's microwaves apparently. It
Okay,
sends
fine,
these
it's microwaves, whatever.
microwaves into
Here's
your brain.
Here's the thing. To create an analogy, we talked about a video game that was very good but not great, right? This guy is very smart, I guess. He could be devoting his time to alleviating suffering in the world, but instead I'm going to make a game that'll kill you.
Well,
Like,
he
it
hasn't.
just
He's not
breaks
made a
my
game.
heart
He's just
to
made a
think-
headset. That'll
This
kill
is
you.
this is a perfect example of why having money doesn't lead to happiness, because you just end up
Well,
doing stupid shit like
exactly.
this.
You see, you
Right.
say that, Duke, right? But all space
You've ordered one. Have you
exploration-
ordered one?
No, no.
No.
All space exploration costs billions of pounds, billions of dollars for
Yes.
nothing.
What are you talking
Because-
about for
First
nothing?
of all, it's not for
Well,
nothing.
what does it
What are you
do?
talking
What
about
does
for
it do?
nothing?
It's
What's the
abstract
material
research that
gain?
in some cases yields results in terms of better understanding
How the universe
of mirrors
started,
and
but-
refraction of light and things that can yield results on Earth.
Yeah, but there's
Stu.
no
however,
material
however,
gain
however,
space
however,
exploration. None.
I am also
Not
on
a
record
thing.
as saying, let's get rid of homelessness, hunger, extreme poverty in the Earth, and then we can go exploring the rest of the universe. I'm
Like,
totally on board with
What
that.
you've said there, Stu, is so ridiculously
No, it's
naive.
absolutely true.
No,
It's not
that's.
naive.
I'll tell
It
you
isn't.
what. Right, I'll tell you what.
It isn't.
Pretend
Professor
pretend-
Brian Cox has said this himself, and he's a very smart man.
Cox.
Well, he can go fuck
Cox.
himself, right? So why? That's like saying America isn't discovered, and we go, Well, there's no point going on a ship and finding new lands because
I think
what's
the
in it for us?
universe is slightly different.
Well, yeah, but we don't know what's
We
out
don't
there.
know exactly what's out there.
Yeah,
that
but
might
that's the
benefit
only
us.
reason we do it, to try and find out. But
Well, why else would you do it?
No, that's what I mean. There's no material gain to our planet from doing it, though,
Yes,
apart
there
from
is.
discovering there's a universe or another, another galaxy that is 20 billion light years away. And look,
Yeah,
we can see as
you
far as
don't
that now
know.
with the
You
James Webb
don't
telescope.
know.
Don't know what? Well, that's something that's
What's
20
out
billion
there?
light years ago.
What if we discover an asteroid that has all like minerals and resources that we could farm out of it?
That's
and
great.
plant?
But deep space exploration has nothing to do with that.
But the best way to learn about our planet and the world that we're in is looking at what's happened before and what's going to happen again.
Looking at a
And
galaxy
when you look
that's
into
20 billion
space,
light years away has no bearing on
but what you
happens to
also
our
look
planet.
into when you look into a universe that's 20 million light years away is not only something that's 20 million light years away, but you look into something that's 20 million light years ago, which means
Yeah,
you're looking
20
into the
million light years
past,
ago.
which means you
Of
could
course.
learn about what is going to happen to our solar system and our planet, right? So the incredible naive point of view that you have, and I don't care if Brian Cox said it because he can go fuck himself, right? Is ridiculous.
I also would imagine that Brian Cox may have put it slightly differently.
yeah.
But I'm
Don't
just
spend
guessing.
any money on
he
space
said he
expense.
said we spend
Why
millions
did
of
I even
pounds on
try
something
with
that has
that?
no material gain, just to fulfill curiosity.
Well, that's
That's
but
basically how
that
I put it.
has to be done. Like the human mind has to fulfill curiosity. We have to do
No,
it.
definitely.
It's always
I'm
been
not saying
done.
it's,
So therefore, it's
a
not
terribly
wasted
bad
money.
thing, but there's a lot of money spent on it.
We're going away from the point here. I forgot about. So what's ridiculous about this news story is that this guy has far too much money and too much time on his hands to make a fucking device. The only reason he's doing this is because he's bored, he's rich, and he knows that it'll get
And
attention
he wants
on the
to
news.
get like a name. He wants
Yeah.
to shock people.
He wants to shock
the
people.
news
He
outlets
wants-
to go, "Oh my God, can you believe this?"
He wants attention.
And that's a
He wants
pathetic reason to
ego.
do
He
it.
just wants to
Yes,
be the
ego,
center of
amen.
attention. It's ridiculous. It'll never take off. It'll never happen. This is moot, stupid.
Well, no,
and
I
over.
think somebody might play it. And another thing that breaks my heart is, chances are, if somebody were to play this, like for a live stream to raise money for charity or something will go wrong. He'll be like, "Oh, my pizza's here. Pause. Oh, wait, ah!" And then he dies, and everyone goes,
Wow.
"Oh man, it was such a tragedy. Oh God, I can't believe it happened like that."
Here's the interesting thing.
Throw it
dude.
away right now before anybody has a chance to do
This
that.
was the final thing he said on it, and actually, I agree because he's treating this as a piece of art.
Yeah, of course he is.
He's treating it as a piece
Everything's
of art because
piece of
basically
art.
he's saying there are
This
huge.
empty candy wrapper. Look
However-
at this art.
However, this new system isn't perfect. There are a huge variety
don't
of
say.
failures that could occur and kill the user at the wrong time.
Yeah, the failure is
is-
making it in the first place. That's the number one failure.
This is why I have not worked up the balls to actually use it myself. At this point, the killer
and he never
headset
will.
is just a piece of office art,
I don't.
which is a thought-provoking reminder of unexplored avenues in game design.
I don't
Oh,
buy.
just
well,
kinda
thank
like it. I
God
think
we
it's
had
quite
him do
interesting.
creating, because otherwise we would just not know what other could be explored.
No, do you know what? I think
I-
it's quite interesting.
I
Regardless
don't
of what
buy
you're saying, I
that,
think it's
the
quite
way
interesting.
that it kills you. I don't buy it.
In what respect?
Like
You don't think it
microwaves
would
in your
actually
brain.
kill the person?
Like microwaves in your brain. What's that?
I don't know. It just destroys your brain.
I don't buy it.
It destroys your brain when you die in game.
Like sticking your head
just
in your
accept it
microwave.
kills you. Just
It's
accept
just
it
dumb.
kills
It's
you.
just this stupid.
Have you
look,
seen
it's-
what? Did you not see
Why
what
have you
happened to that
picked
woman's
the
poodle in the 70s?
stupidest fucking news article I've ever
think
heard?
it's
in
Well,
my
first
life?
of all, it
interesting.
got us talking. I mean, that's a valuable thing. A lot of news
Definitely
stories
it
gold.
is.
Secondly, there's not a lot of gaming news out there, to be fair.
Fuck.
There's
And
none.
thirdly, it's shocking.
Let
It
me
is
tell you another
surprising.
story.
It's-
Let me tell you another story. A man
Go on.
invents a VR headset, gets very
Yep.
rich, and gets bought, and he sells out. Then he sits in his office and goes, "How can I be famous again?" And then he makes this fucking thing. That's the
Yeah,
story.
pretty much.
That's the
That
fucking
is the story.
story.
I agree.
I don't think he cares.
Fuck this
about
guy.
being
Fuck Brian
famous.
Cox. Right?
Really? You don't think his ego is in
Yeah,
play
he
here?
cares about being
no,
famous.
I don't. I
He
don't
cares.
think it is
He
at all.
cares about being
First of all,
successful.
every human being is driven by their ego to a very large extent.
If
If you
he's
think you don't
considering
have an
this as
ego problem,
art,
that's your ego talking.
If-
Okay?
if he
I don't
considers-
about
Ego
everybody,
problem.
myself included. That's why we run our mouths here every goddamn
this is
week.
what
I
we do
have
the
no
show.
ego problem.
Shut up!
Fuck
Don't
off.
even.
Yeah,
don't.
okay, ego
So
man.
the fact that he's labelled this as art tells me that he's a fucking absolute bellend. Right. So forget this guy. I never want to hear him again. I don't care if he
Wow.
invents free cancer cures for people. I never want to know this guy. This guy's an idiot.
Wow.
He's over.
God,
He's a dick.
strong stuff.
He invents a thing.
Yeah.
Stop being a bellend.
He invents a VR headset that kills you. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life. Stupid.
Someone would do it.
It's
I bet
really
you a pound
stupid.
now. If he put an
All right.
advert out.
Well, to be honest with you, Stu, it ain't that hard to invent because I could fucking invent
No,
that.
I don't mean
I'll just put a
invent
gun on
it.
the. I'll just put
No,
on
what
my
about one that
Quest.
just cripples you? What about one that just takes your eye out? We haven't
No.
explored that avenue
You're
of
saying
game
it's-
design.
You're saying it's stupid, right? But he says in the article they did a tournament for one of the fighting games. I can't remember which one it is now. Tekken, right? You know, Tekken 3. And they
Yeah.
put arm straps on the players that gave them a really severe electric shock. Not enough to kill them,
Well, that's different.
but quite a decent one.
But
But
that's
they
different.
still played the game,
Yeah, but
getting
that's
massive
different.
electric shocks
That's
every time
different.
they got killed.
That's
in the game.
different. That's
It is
different.
different because they're not going to actually die. But they've
Listen,
got to be in
I've just
pain.
invented. Stu, you'd be very excited. Write a news article. I've just invented a new VR headset. Right. All you got to
Yeah.
do, right, is just let me know when you put the VR Quest on, and I'm standing next to you with a sledgehammer. All right. And then every time you get shot,
like
I
it.
just smack you in the stomach with it. All right. It's
I
amazing.
think that would be
It's
brilliant.
amazing. Basically, a fucking idiot could have invented this thing. He's a knob. He just wants to be the centre of attention. He's got too much money and he's bored. The world has forgot about him because he made the Quest and sold it, and now he just wants to be known again. Fuck this guy. Never mention him again. He's done.
Okay.
I would be okay with never mentioning him again.
And now then, the next one's for
All right,
you.
next
Duke.
news story.
This one's for you, Duke, and I don't know how
Okay.
useful this will be.
All right, is this about the Witcher 3 remake?
No, a fan has
Graphics update?
made a No Man's Sky standalone app that lets you build and import bases very easily, almost like Townscaper. So you just build the base you want, then you can import it straight into the game. You don't have to fanny around. I don't know
Well,
whether
I
this
mean,
will be
it's not
interesting.
as though making a base is really that hard in No Man's Sky.
I don't know. This guy's obviously speeded up the process. I don't know whether it's useful or not.
Okay, I mean that's fine. Here's the thing. Look, No Man's Sky base building is like the least interesting part of that game. If there were
Exactly.
if there
So
were
that's why
tower
this
defense
dude-
elements, which I think they should add, and maybe they kind of have the option for it with the towns that the settlements that need protection, but whatever. I think they could do some interesting stuff by adding some tower defense elements. But at a certain point, you got to be like, this game's done. Like, I know they're not trying to do that, obviously, but I think that they would be justified in at some point drawing a line under it. But
No, this is nothing to do with No Man's Sky.
No, I know.
development.
I
It's
went
just
off on a
farm.
tangent. This app also just sounds dumb. I can't imagine having any interest in this app. I mean, it's
the-
fine that he did it, I guess.
The only
if there's a
reason he did
demand
it is
for
because he said he
cool.
just you could make more complex bases really easily and just import them into your game without having to do all the fannying around.
The problem is why? Like, there's, it's like in
I don't know
Fallout
what
4,
bases
you
do,
can-
so I don't know how useful this is or not.
Nothing.
useful
They
it is.
really don't do much of anything. Like, it's a
I mean,
dollhouse.
some of these things
part
on
of the
this
game.
video look amazing. You know what I mean?
Well,
But
sure, they look amazing. Absolutely. It's like Fallout 4. You have these, settlements that you can build up into these amazing things, but then it's like, why? Like, what's the point? It's a dollhouse, which is fine. If you want to play with the dollhouse, go for it. That's not interesting to me. I think the best things like this are where you build a base and then you have to defend it. And they kind of had that in Fallout 4. You occasionally, you get a notification that's like, this base is under attack, but all you do is go there and you just shoot the monsters. Like, it's nothing to do with the base. The base could be a puddle of toxic waste, and you'd have the notification, that settlement's under attack. You go there, you shoot the monsters. That's the end of it. I think an interesting element, and again, this has nothing to do with the actual story you just shared, but since you said my name, I'm going to talk.
that's
I
okay.
think an interesting element would be in one of these games in the future, maybe Elder Scrolls 6, you build up a little town, and then depending on how many guards you put there, when the horde comes in, you can defend that, you get like, and they did this in one of the Assassin's Creed games, didn't they? Where it became like a tower defense kind of RTS type.
Yes, it was fucking horrendous.
It was. And I'm not saying that that's something we need to have in these games, but all I'm saying is this. Look, Minecraft set a new standard for building stuff, and suddenly everybody wanted to build stuff in games, so we started throwing in Hearthfire and Skyrim and the Fallout 4 settlements. Here's building. Okay, the problem is there's no real reason to do any of that building. Dragon Quest Builders 2, which is on Game Pass, and I downloaded it, I want to play it. Everybody says, and by everybody I'm talking about like 2 subreddits on Reddit, they say that game has really done a good job of giving you reasons to build, because you meet people who are like, I'm homeless, or I need a place for my cows, or you know what I mean? Like, every building serves a purpose. That's what we need in this next level of this building video game evolution stuff, is a reason to be building beyond just, I can make anything I want, because that gets old pretty quick.
Yeah, fair enough. I don't know what else to say. It was just a
Anyway,
bit of
good
news.
on him for that mod, I guess.
I thought it was
just-
something that you might be interested in. Anyway,
Um,
final thing that tonight is VR related again, but it's not a killer headset. You'll be,
Oh, thank
pleased to
goodness.
know.
Yeah.
But some modders have been trying to create a pretty big mod for Half-Life Alyx
Okay.
for the last 2 years, and it's finally out, which is called Half-Life Alyx Levitation. And apparently
Ooh.
it's 3 to 4 hours of new gameplay, voice acted, storytelling, the lot. So it
Okay.
could be pretty cool. I mean, it could be a reason for me to go back to Half-Life Alyx because I played it and finished that game, which was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
This could be pretty cool. It's on the Steam Workshop page. I don't know what the ratings are so far, but might be worth a go. So for
Yeah,
people
might
out there who've got a VR and that I've played, it's got, well, at the moment it's got 5 stars off 659 ratings and it's in 5 parts. So that could be pretty cool, I'm reckoning.
Could be.
So I'll give it a go for next week. I'll let you
Give
know
it a
if it's
go.
good. I'm going to play it.
I got 2 things to add, by the way. This is news about Duke. Duke
New
news
Duke
you can
news.
use. Yeah, my battery was started to really start dying recently on my Xbox controller. So I went looking for a new battery, and there was this there's all these third-party companies making batteries for the Xbox controllers, and I'm like, I don't know if I trust that. Like, it's half the price of a actual Microsoft Xbox brand battery, and I think I want to go with the name I trust. But they didn't have any of those at the store. I stopped in on my way home from school recently. So instead, I got this dual pack of these green puppies.
Oh yeah.
This is beautiful. Having 2 makes everything so much easier. It used to be when the battery started to die, I was like, oh man, now I got to step away from Rocket League for a while, and while the controller charged, right? Not anymore. Fuck that shit. Pop out the old one, pop in the new one. I can queue while I'm switching out batteries and then just charge it's constantly fresh. It's awesome.
Duke discovers that having 2 batteries
I
is
know.
better than one.
I know. Exactly.
It's ridiculous.
I just got,
Uh,
I'll be honest, the Amazon's Basics rechargeable batteries are great.
Well,
They're
you know
about
what? There's a lot of good
2,000
stuff out there.
They're about 2,300 mAh or whatever the hell that is. And I have 8 of them. So I just stick them all in the battery charger, just swap them out as I need them.
Well, there you go. The
Perfect.
question is this going to last me for like 3 years, which is what I'm
Maybe.
hoping. And right now it's working great, but a lot of times you get stuff, it works great for like 6 months and then it starts dying. Like I have these headbuds, these wireless headbuds, which are good, but for some reason when you put them in the little charger dealy, one of them doesn't like start charging and it'll just randomly start connecting to the phone. And I'm like, stop it! And it's so annoying because it's just slightly out of place in the charger when it does that. And it's like,
so annoying.
I was FaceTiming my mom recently, and suddenly she cut out, and I was like, "Oh, Mom, you're doing something wrong with your phone. Old people, am I right?" And then I realized, oh no, wait, it's because my
you.
headbuds started connect. It was me. Anyway, here's a news story that I found that Chinny might be interested in. This is from Polygon, and it says Marvel Snap will soon make it easier to get the cards you want.
Okay.
There's a token shop that will let you grab Pool 3 and Pool 4 cards directly.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good news, not just for folks hungry for Venom, Deadpool, Doctor Doom, and other powerful cards, but for folks looking forward to Pool 4 and 5, which spans 16 all-new cards. The developer said in an update on Tuesday that the month's featured new card, Silver Surfer, is just the start of new cosmic-themed characters coming to Marvel Snap decks. And then there's listings of other people. Yeah, you won't have to complete your Pool 3 collection, the game's largest pool of cards, to start getting the new ones. While Pool 4 cards will be super rare, they too can be purchased directly from the token shop using collector's tokens. So it sounds like it's not pay to win exactly, but it's pay to have the cards you want.
Yeah.
Which, does that make it more powerful, or just like it's a character?
Like different cards just do different things. They don't necessarily mean they're more powerful. Right. You know, like some are obviously, but you know, like one of the first cards you get, like, you know, like Iron Man and like Hulk and things like that. And Hulk's like, you know, pretty like you could beat anybody with any card, any deck, really.
Right.
What you've just said though, I have no idea what it means, so that's cool. But
you don't play it enough, man.
What the variation for people that don't know, there's like 3 locations, so 3 places you can put your cards on Marvel Snap. The variation is those locations. So they've done a great job of making these locations really varied. So sometimes you have 6 turns in Marvel Snaps, and sometimes you'll just get a 7th turn. and you're like, oh, that changes the game completely. Now I've got a 7th turn. Or sometimes, if you leave this location empty, it gives you an extra bit of energy, so you can spend more on playing cards and stuff. So the locations are the way they make it really interesting. So yeah, it's cool.
Yeah.
Like you do get a buzz of getting a new card, because every time you see a new card, the game goes never seen before,
Check
and you're
it
like, oh
out.
wow, yeah, that's cool. So it encourages you very well to try new things. But ultimately, you could beat anybody with any deck. So I think that's the genius of it. It's just so simple.
Yeah.
And easy to just
and
get into.
adaptive and avoiding that temptation to make it pay to win, because I'm sure that would be the easiest way to get money off a game like this, but then people will stop playing it. So there's obviously a balancing act there. How do you get people to cough up the dough? Have you spent any money on this, Chinny?
No, nothing.
See, it's funny. I was actually doing a video game series with my students. We do these little enrichment sessions, and I did one on video games the past couple weeks. First of all, there was one dude who kept talking about how much he loves cheating. Like, every game that we talked about, he was like, someone mentioned Minecraft. He's like, oh, I love to cheat in Minecraft. I use X-ray and this and that. I'm like, dude, you sound ridiculous. You sound like, he was being the angry, sad child who's like, I don't care who's mad. I'm cheating, man. He's that person that we all can't stand. Anyway, but he talked about Fortnite, and he was like, I've spent so much money on skins and weapons. I'm so, oh, God, dude, you're the fucking problem.
Yeah. You should just, not talk to him.
I really didn't. At a certain point, I was like, okay, you have to be quiet for 3 minutes. Like, other people need to talk. And it was.
Would he be able to cheat on that VR headset that you can put on your head?
Let's try
it. Find a way.
No. I don't want any.
Oh, he still blew his head off.
Even a very annoying student.
Anyway, that means that we've got emails to read, people.
Oh, good.
Let's do
well,
that.
snap. There's more show coming, people.
If people want to write into the show, what do they do? What do they do?
They email.
Send it to Veteran Gamers, care of Awesome Studio Productions, 123 Fake Road, Sussex, London, Norwich, England, UK, 65382.
Yeah.
3 different places.
Well, we've made a new email address that's easier, which is just podcast@veterangamers.co.uk.
There is that.
It
You
doesn't
could
need
just
as much
do
when
that.
people send it that way.
Yeah, you could just do that.
I want a package with
know.
a seal.
Anyway,
wax.
let's just read the email, shall we?
Right, here's the theme song.
Whoa, that ruled.
Okay, here we go. First email tonight is from a new emailer. Not a new
Ooh.
listener, but a
sweet.
new emailer.
Nice.
And it's from Gaka J1.
Okay, what up, Gaka?
J1.
Hit me with the gack.
And he's entitled Plague Tale Requiem.
Okay.
Oh, I'm out.
And he says this, hi guys, big email incoming.
Hi, thank you.
I'm either going to really like this email or really not like it. So
Next
go on.
time, include some stuff that I care about, please, because I'm
Yeah.
not into pig.
Yeah.
I've been listening to you gabbing on for I think about 12 years now,
Oh
and this
my
is my
God.
first time emailer.
Jesus. Yeah. How often does that happen?
A lot.
A lot. Just some people listen for years and just go,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm going to
I'll
email
send
him
him an
because
email.
he
Send him
said
an
something about Plague Tale that I disagree with.
Right, well let's
That's
hear
my
it out.
voice for you, by the way, Gapper. Sorry.
I'm procrastinator in chief and also a veteran, been in games since 1980 with the ZX80.
Yeah. Okay.
My uncle Tony still has a ZX80 in his attic that
Yeah.
he built himself.
Your uncle
back in
has a
the day.
ZX80 in his attic.
In his attic, yeah.
Your uncle Stu has a Spectrum in Gapper's attic.
No, in his own.
Yeah,
Look,
he
shut
did. No,
up.
that's it. That's what he's got.
It's a ZX80, not a Spectrum. This was before the ZX81. This is like one of the first home computers I have, and
Okay.
it was
Carry on,
white.
read the
Dude,
fucking
It was
email.
white. That's I
jumped
know
in,
about
man.
this shit, man.
Read the
I got
email.
it, Jimmy,
Read the
it's
email.
fine.
Read the
Go
email.
ahead. Keep going.
Anyway, he says,
This'll
I've very
teach you to
much
actually
appreciated
say
your
things.
time, dedication, and effort throughout the years. So thank you, and I hope that you continue for as long as you are able to.
Yeah.
Not very long. Go on.
I've just
2 more
finished.
weeks.
I've just finished A Plague's Tale Requiem and was blown away. And this is
Good.
by far my game of the year so
Good.
far.
Good.
I didn't
good.
play PT1. I can't believe you never played the first game. That's just so weird to me. Because you lose a lot of context if
It's
you
him
didn't
getting
play the
blown away
first
by the
game.
game.
A lot of context. So can't comment on that. But PTR is one of the things that got me And these are the things that follows. Contains minor spoiler, I guess. Sound the siren.
Spoilers.
Spoilers, I don't know.
Warning! Warning! Warning!
Okay.
The story. I'm someone who either gets hooked or turned off by the story very early on in a game. This got me hooked straight away. The obvious and special connection between brother and sister was something that I could relate to easily and rolled with. The setting was also visually stunning. Characters. This is one of the times in a video game history where I actually gave a fuck about the characters. In particular, Amica and Hugo, both children who had obviously been seeing a lot of shit go down, misery, death, futility, etc. Hugo in particular struck a chord. He's put through so much as a young age, and the voice actor for him was perfect, conveying base and serious human emotion for someone so young so very well. Amica's voice actor was just as superb, if not better, and I would not be surprised to see her go on to do other things. The emotion in her delivery was at times excellent. Armand reminded me of Matt Berry, which was always good, and although cliched in many ways, bad cop turns good. I enjoyed his time on screen.
He's a very good character.
Very good character. Mechanics. The rats as a mechanic idea is excellent, both being utterly terrifying and utterly useful. It is a very clever way to go. And the use of tar, lighting the tar, using lights, Sophia, were really well thought out and felt different. Stu complained about not having a rock to throw as a distraction in certain stealth areas, but I believe the option was there from the start. Just select throw stone on the menu wheel. Maybe it's there and I just never saw it. Forgot all that. I thought you had to throw it at one of those
Like
tin
the
things,
shiny
though.
things, yeah.
Yeah, you have to show it. No, shiny things aren't always available.
Yeah. Oh, that's true in life.
That's true in life. There's not always shiny things. The ending, I don't know how much this is spoilery because I haven't finished this game yet. I know, Chini, a lot of people dislike Trippy World breaking that part endings in the main. I'm trying to say this very fast because I don't want to read it.
What, you're reading it like a drunk person.
I know, that's because I don't want to read it.
How can you read it without spoiling it for yourself?
Not read it.
To others, and to be honest, we had a few trippy moments earlier in the game with Hugo on the island. I'm sure there was one other such example. Memory is hazy, so it's not too spoilery, to be fair. Emotion, it's emotional. It felt like it was a big hit with a truck by the ending, and I shed a few tears. I will say no more. The impact was still felt several days afterwards, and it rolled around in my head for a long time after, and will continue to do so for the long term. Now, we know this is not true with Chinny, because he emotionally, very rare. Well, I don't think you've ever got emotionally involved with a game, have you?
No, I think the closest is Red Dead 1. That's the closest.
Oh, okay, I can see that.
I felt that. Like I like there. I think it's called feelings, and I think I had them there.
You know, only just.
Like I felt it. Like
loser, sucker.
Yeah, that hurt. That
I am a sucker for emotion. I appreciate it was hard to end it any other way, and saw it coming halfway in, but still didn't want it to happen. It also had a few moments of interesting emotional diversions throughout, with the siblings ditching their mother early on, then the mother having an unfortunate island adventure, Hugo's anger and sickness arc, and Amica's breakdown in tears twice, and offering prayer to the Lord towards the end. It was easy to miss the one as it was a collectible. And very impactful and impressive acting again. All were handled very well, not over the top, and totally believable. Kudos. I may have something caught in my eye. There's
one moment in A Plague's Tale Requiem that's missable. Right.
You might miss it if you're not paying attention, you mean?
No, that it's
or if you don't find it.
You don't find it if you don't go in a certain room.
Oh, right. Yeah, sure.
And I thought it was one of the best moments of the game.
Oh, okay. I'll see if I find it. Never mind. In summary, it is a game that I can display on the mantelpiece as one of that is from the heart, affected me and made me think about a lot of matters, not specifically connected to gaming, which I consider to be a fantastic achievement for a game of this type. I haven't felt this way about a video game since The Last of Us for many of the above reasons.
Yeah.
Sorry for the long email, but I feel strongly that the game and the studio of this size, and now I'm a fan of theirs, very good work. I think you should stand with God of War as this year's top 5 game of the year challenger, easily, as although it was not as polished or cinematic or epic, it's still an achievement pound for pound when considering studio size and resources available to it. It is not an actiony type of game full of thrills and spills. It has no puzzles. It has no loot boxes or co-op or multiplayer. It is a quality stealth single-player game at heart with some good and interesting for the medium video game storytelling. And if they are your thing, then I urge anyone to give it a go. Just play it. Play it. He doesn't actually say that, but that would have been funny if he did.
Yeah.
Especially if you have got Game Pass, it's a no-brainer. Oh, just play it. So he does say
there
that.
you go. There it is.
There you go.
Hmm.
I have had too much red wine, and so the idea of editing is not appealing. Apologies for any spelling or grammatical errors. I will try to email more than once every 12 years, I promise.
Yeah.
Much love.
Yeah,
and
11 years and 6 months. That's
Yeah, keep up with the good work. Gaka J1. So there you go.
All
That's
right,
cool.
Gaka,
Thanks
thank
so
you
much.
for hitting us with the GAC.
It is quite cool. It's not. Do you know what? Considering if he was supposedly a bit pissed when he wrote this, it's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Can I just
Yeah.
say it's pretty good?
Hey, Hemingway said, write drunk, edit sober. So, you know, you got half of
Exactly.
it done. That's good.
Good after it done. But thank you.
Right.
Yeah. Just email in again. Email in again.
Yeah. Email in
hopefully
other people too. Whoever you're listening
I will.
just
I will.
email.
Well, I've got to try and get it finished for January because it's got to be in my Game of the Year listing stuff. So
Yeah,
I've got to finish.
obviously.
I've got a few
Yeah,
things to.
cannot
I've
have-
got a few games to bloody finish.
What, you on
Anyway,
drugs?
next email this evening is from Jackson. And he says, "Happy UK Day. Hey, veterans of stroking the dog, the cat, the hedgehog, and the lizard in your beard.
What?
Have you?" It's Jason. What are you expecting?
Yeah.
Have you seen these games on PlayStation? It's just a series of stroking mini games. Stroke it. Anyway,
Okay. Is Clarence
I'm-
Carter here?
I have no idea. I'm playing Ghost Song still. It's good. I like it a lot. I also started Norco. It's the coolest point and click readathon around. Great story.
Oh man, that makes me not
and
want to go
setting.
near it now.
Yeah,
Thanks a
I
lot,
don't want to go
Jason.
near it.
Ugh.
It's unique for sure, and the reviews are up there. Well, we're going to be playing this next week, so we'll tell you what we think.
No.
Well, maybe.
Chinny. Chinny.
Well, no, we'll play it. We just can't promise to play it for more than 10 minutes.
No, we can't. Chinny, have a great Thanksgiving. As for you other two, stroke a turkey under the mistletoe, Jason. So, there you go.
All right.
All right, thank you,
I get a
Jason.
free
I know,
pack.
I like
Very
it.
weird email, as always.
Well, what would you expect anything less?
No, I wouldn't. It's just,
Well, that's all right.
you know, I don't know. Whatever. It's fine.
The final email this evening is from Jacinta.
Ah, yeah. Wait, hang on. I got something. Here we go.
Her name is Jacinta.
There we go.
Hi, hello.
Hello.
Hey
G'day.
guys. Hey guys. I'm sending you another dumb email. You're welcome. I'll try and keep it brief. I'm trying to say
Thank
how
you.
she might say it. I know it's not an Australian accent, but
No.
I reckon she's
okay.
quite upbeat. So I'm doing
She's
upbeat.
heard
pretty
her.
upbeat when
We've
we've heard
heard
her,
her.
I know, but I'm trying to,
I
Stu
reckon in my
seems-
memory, she sounds
Yeah,
like
I
this.
am.
Go ahead.
What does she sound like? No, it sounds like this. Stu seems quite rude about my return to Azeroth, aka World of Warcraft, which, to be
Yep.
quite honest, wasn't entirely unjustified. The game's addictive as hell, and for sure, the first day or so I played an unhealthy amount. However, I am once again clean. 2 reasons. Number 1, they made everything scale with your level. Oh, that quest a little hard. Wanna wait until you're a little stronger to take out? Nope. Everything else scales with you. Not an option if you can toggle like some other MMOs. Fuck that. I hate it. Completely ruins
Yeah.
the questing experience.
I guess.
How's it going? Do you think that's how she sounded when
I think you
were
should
writing
stop
this?
doing that.
Mm.
I think you should just.
I think that's
read
quite
it
good. I'm going to
normally.
carry on.
No, no.
Number 2.
Why don't you do Jason Gallagher's voice when you do him email from him?
I don't know. Maybe I'll do that next time.
Or maybe you could just not.
Actually, I just got right. Just a minute. I'll go back. This is how I do Jason, right? Okay, so I've gone back to Jason's email. This is it. It'd be like this. Hey, veteran of the stroking dog.
Doesn't sound like
the
him at
cat,
all. Not even close.
and
Just
the
read the rest
hedgehog.
of Jacinta's email. Come
Oh,
on.
the lizard and your beard. That's how he'd sound. There you go.
Right.
Bit creepy.
Okay.
Bit creepy.
Anyway.
Number 2, I joined a random group for a dungeon because I was given a quest for that dungeon. I wrote in chat, "Hey, I haven't done this dungeon before for your information," to which I got no reply. So we get to the first boss and I died in the fight, but the group still killed the boss anyway without dying. So I respawned.
Oh no.
And I started following the tank down the corridor and boom, just like that, I'm back where I was questing with a notification saying, sounds like she's
Are you
pissed now.
drunk?
Wow, that's just great. Enough for say to
A notification saying you have been removed from that dungeon. I got vote kick. Community has gone to absolute shit. Fuck this game. I am done. At least I only lost a month's subscription fee, and it was fun for around 20
I just
hours.
want to say, fuck this game. I'm done.
Since then, I've been playing Path of Exile because apparently I hate myself. That game is so hardcore, my brain breaks every time I try to vendor an item.
Yeah, but it's free at least. You're not spending money on it.
Because there's no actual money-like currency, just other types of items. I'm also working my way through Dragon Age Origins and Mass Effect 2 on Game Pass because I've still never finished either of those games.
Origins. Mwah, I love Origins.
How? What the fuck? How can you have never finished Mass Effect 2? Shame on you.
It's okay.
Anyway,
She's gonna love it. Let's be positive and
random factoid: the user interface on Dragon Age Origins doesn't scale when you play at 1080p and looks stupid, which is super tiny.
Sounds pretty ridiculous. Yeah.
So I'm playing at 720p and it's giving me happy nostalgia kicks. Everything looks roughly as it did back in the day. Though I haven't capped the frame rate at 30 frames per second, that would be too far. Question. With all the remasters and endless updates and such, do you think it's worth playing games in the way they were originally presented on release, excluding game-breaking glitches, etc.? Is there a game you would prefer to play the older version of rather than a remaster, or even rather than one that's been patched consistently for years? I think I read that.
Oh,
let her finish her question before you answer.
I thought that was it.
No. I think I read somewhere about a guy who was trying to restore John Marston's original face in the first release of Red Dead Redemption 2 before numerous patches apparently changed it significantly. So there you go. So, yeah, so would you rather have the original or would you rather have a remake of the original?
So here's the thing. I don't know that I would say I'd rather play the original Myst, but I would say that the experience of doing it one screen at a time is a different experience than live movement through. And that doesn't make it better or worse exactly. It's just, it's different. So at some point, if you've only ever played the newest Myst, it might be interesting to go back and experience it the way it was originally done. But for the most part, when they remake games, there's a good reason for it. Like, it makes the game experience better.
Wow. I can give you one of the best examples, which is Resident Evil 2.
Okay.
If you played that game, the remake, and played the original game, I don't think anyone would rather play the original game from what I've seen of it.
Well, I'm sure that's true.
Apart from hardcore people who are like, I want to play it as it was intended. Because it just made, there's lots of sort of quality of life improvements, like being able to move while you shoot.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean? There's loads of those little things that make a massive difference. So I can't. I'm trying to think of a game which I would have rather have played in its original form. The only one that kind of I would and still probably enjoy equally as much is the original Monkey Island game, because the puzzles don't change. It's just the presentation and how it looks.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah, I think I could easily play that again, and that would be a great nostalgia kick, and it would still work perfectly. So yeah, I can't think of any others really that spring to mind. What about you two?
I already talked about Myst.
Yeah, Chinny, anything for you?
We've got a PS2 in the office, and a GTA game that I haven't really played much of is Liberty City Stories. Those are the ones that came out for the PSP, made by Rockstar Leeds, that don't exist anymore. And so I've played a little bit of those games on like lunch breaks in the office. Not this week because I've just been out all week, but a little bit. And I'm like, these games are really tough to go back to. For as much as people complained about the remakes of 3, Vice City and San Andreas that came out recently, I think they've been patched now and they're sort of playable now. Look, I think you forget how bad some of these games play, and they're very, very difficult to go back to. I think it's important that games, especially old games, are playable in some form. So I always vote for like a redo of it, like a remaster of it, or an upgrade or whatever. It doesn't have to be a remake like Resident Evil 2, but like a remaster like the GTA 3 sort of stuff. I just think it's just a better way to go. Like the remaster of the Mass Effects. Or
you see, I think one of the most pointless remasters of recent times was The Last of Us. Because apart from making it look a bit prettier and then charging you another 50 or 60 quid for the privilege, I just don't see the point.
Let me counter that. I don't disagree, but let me counter it. Right? Last of Us show coming out. TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
New people being exposed to it, and the improvements they made to The Last of Us 1 is to make it so it plays like The Last of Us 2. So you know how the accessibility stuff that you get in the options, where it makes it easier for people that are deaf or hard of
Yeah, but they
sight.
could have added that into the original game without much of a problem.
I don't know if they can. I don't know if they can.
I don't know.
But like at that point, you
Maybe.
might as well just remake the fucking game. I think is the point. But then also the way the main character in Last of Us Part 2 upgrades their gun, you know, like
Well,
in
what
that
about
kind
what
of
about
like
this? Shit,
visceral
right?
sort of like
I kind
way,
of
all that
agree.
stuff.
I kind of agree with what you're saying, right? But what if you were on the original game digitally? They should give you a discounted rate, so like just 20 quid. If you,
Yeah,
if you-
I don't. Yeah, that was probably a better way to handle that
then
situation.
go it's another 60 quid, even if you have the
Yeah.
original game.
But it's such a big franchise that somebody somewhere was probably like, people will just buy it anyway. So whatever.
Pointless. You see, I'm not that everyone's losing the shit over Dead Space remake, and I'm like, that game played fine. I was
Yeah.
fine with it.
But the
original
graphical
game is
the
fine.
graphical upgrade is pretty impressive. I'll
It
give
is,
it
but
that.
the original game looked okay. It looked
Yeah.
fine.
I think
Played it
anything.
not that long ago, and it would still look fine.
I think anything over 10 years old is probably okay to remaster, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, and Dead Space is 2008, I think. So it just
Yeah.
qualifies. You know, and
It
for-
shows how great it looked in 2008, in my opinion.
I want a remaster of GTA 4. It's one of my favourite Grand Theft Autos,
Yeah.
Well,
and
yeah.
it's so underrated. Not many people like it, but I loved it. And I want a remaster of 4 and The Lost and Damned and Gay Tony. I think they're phenomenal, and they're only
Yeah.
playable. Yeah, they are playable, but like you've got to buy the old versions of them, and they came out in 2008 and 9. So like, yeah, I think they're due a remaster, but whether they'll do them, I don't know.
Well, if you like the bloody 3 and whatever, then they don't need
Well,
to
I
bother,
don't think they're
in
going to
my
make that
opinion.
mistake again, but yeah, and those remasters, Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas, were remasters of mobile versions of those games. So it's almost like a remaster of a port, and the port wasn't
Yeah.
very good. So it was a pretty sloppy.
I know,
remaster.
and it's just terrible when you're a company like Rockstar and don't have enough money to remaster
It's
the
crazy,
original.
yeah,
game.
obviously,
It must be fucking
yeah.
awful.
I think
Be scrimping and scraping to get that together to do it.
I honestly think if they do a GTA 6, the next move for them is to do a remaster of GTA 4. I think it's like money for old rope, pretty much. Yeah, I think that would be great, but I don't know if they'll do it. So I'm always in favour of playing the remastered version of something.
I mean, I'm quite interested. I'll be honest. I'm quite interested in the Resident Evil 4 remake that they're doing because they've introduced a
Yeah.
lot of new.
Well, that's a
improved the
remake, isn't
control-
it?
Yeah, improve the control scheme beyond anything that the original
But
did.
like
added new stuff.
If you haven't played Mass Effect, for example, that Resident Evil that you're talking about, that's a remake. But the remasters I would recommend as well. So if you haven't played Mass Effect, I would play the remaster.
Oh yeah, they're
of it.
great.
Yeah, they're good. If you haven't played, because they do improve like the first Mass Effect by a lot. I don't think you could sprint in the first Mass Effect, whereas in the remaster you can. Stuff
Yeah.
like that. So they do improve it. And in the GTA 3 remaster, like you can aim over the shoulder and you've got third person aiming, and you can't, and it's all that sort of stuff that you forget about. So people shit on them, but actually they do improve quite a lot. Because
Yeah,
we learn
no, you're not
every
wrong.
10 years we learn so much about what mechanics work and what don't. So yeah, I think they're worth starting from there. Like Mafia 1, that remaster's phenomenal.
Oh, it's brilliant.
Absolutely
brilliant.
phenomenal remaster. Because the original game was like 2000, which is like ridiculous. That was like 22 years ago. So yeah, and the fact that they only changed really like the way the game plays, but the story held up, and like the
And just to say, by the way, that's on sale on Steam at the moment for 12 quid.
Mafia 1 remaster.
So get it,
is-
just play it.
I mean,
For
that is
12
basically
quid, it's no
that is
brainer.
basically a remake, isn't it? That game.
Yeah,
Pretty
yeah, and
much.
it's great.
Absolutely
Yeah,
phenomenal.
really, really good.
Yeah. So that answers that.
So there you go. Well, thank you very much. That's it for email. So I guess it's shout out time and get out of here time.
I guess it is. I don't know what to say. It's kind of that time. I guess we should go ahead.
It's time for a shout out. Hey!
Sorry, I had to get to it.
Don't you just love it when he's stalling for time?
Yes.
Anyway. Chini, over to you first.
shout out the listeners. Shout out to F and K, Kev, who's in the chat. I haven't really shouted him out. Shout out to. I got through to the third round of the pairs medley snooker tournament that I'm in. How about that?
Ooh,
All right.
well
nice.
done.
I'll tell you what, right? The guy that I played, he was livid.
Was he? Did he think
Oh,
he was
yeah.
going to walk over you? Did he?
Because, yeah, he basically did. Because
He thought it was going to be an easy win.
So basically, the higher your handicap, the worse you are, right? So
Yeah.
my handicap was
Okay.
given to me. I don't necessarily agree with it, but it was given to me. So my handicap's 32, right?
That's funny.
His handicap is -4.
Ooh, so it's effectively 36.
Yeah. And I knocked in a
Wow.
44 break immediately.
Oh, brilliant.
And he was livid. He was like, how can
He's
you
like,
be...
I bet he sat there and thought
Yeah.
he'd been nobbled.
Yeah, he was like, he was furious.
Oh my God.
Furious.
But that's
And
not
I-
your fault.
No, but and I knocked in a 31 the day before as well, and he saw that on the website because it's all on the website. And he's like, "You knocked in a 31 yesterday. You've knocked in a 44 today. Like, how are you on 32? That's not fair. That's not fair." And he
Which
refused.
to an extent I can understand.
Yeah, but so that was my response.
But you might not have done. You might not have knocked that in.
Yeah.
If he hadn't given you an opening, you wouldn't have had the option, would you?
But yeah, and then after the 44, I potted everything. Do you know what I mean? I just potted everything. And then his doubles partner, because it was a doubles tournament, I didn't beat his doubles partner, who was on a handicap of 4, but I didn't lose by much. Do you know what I mean? And it's all aggregate
Yeah.
scores as well. So by the last frame, we were 150 points ahead. And as you know, Stu, there's only 147 points on a table.
Correct.
So he almost refused to play. He says, I don't want to play. I don't want to play. Forget it. And I was like, it's up to you. It's up to you if you don't want to play. And then he's like, all right, he calmed down. He was like, yeah, all right, yeah, we'll play it. But he was fuming. So shout out
It
to...
sounds to me like he was acting like a bit of a baby, if I'm being totally
Yeah,
honest.
but I mean, he's a very good player, but yeah, he didn't like that.
Well,
but,
you know what? He should keep his toys in the pram, in my opinion, and
shout
just
out
be
to,
graceful.
shout out to me and Palm, my doubles partner in crime.
Oh, well
We're
done.
through to the third round of that tournament, which is pretty good. Yeah,
Well done.
so, yeah.
Well,
done.
mine is a very easy shout out. I'm going to shout out Mr. Hero, who
Yeah.
has not only spent a lot of time, but spent a
that
lot of money
shirt. What?
sending
What?
it. So
Yeah.
I really appreciate all the effort he's gone to. And I'm very excited to see what's in my parcel when it arrives. And it might not, let's be honest, Ginny, we know how the postal service works in this country. It may not arrive before Christmas. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Who knows?
Who knows? We'll see what happens. But again, whenever it does arrive, I'm very much appreciate it. So
I need
thank
to.
you very
He's messaged me on Discord. I need to respond to him. He asked me about.
Oh
7
God, are
questions.
you next up, aren't you?
I'm next. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're next. So, oh well, get excited, Chinny. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
There you go.
You better get your hopes up.
Oh, shout out
Here's
to
Homerson.
Oh,
sorry,
go on.
shout out to, this is a real shout out to Jamie, who does all our art, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Not for free. I usually like buy him a video game or something as a thank
Yep.
you. He never really asks for money, but I always like sort him out. He's had a baby. He's had a
Aw,
baby.
Nice.
It's
he's
a
had
miracle, a man having a baby.
He's had a baby. So
Hooray.
him and his wife are doing well, and his little son, Robin.
Oh, Robin.
Robin.
Wow,
Another Robin.
old school name.
Yeah,
Old school name.
they're doing well. So yeah, congratulations,
Wow,
to
good
Jamie.
news.
So he does
Congratulations,
all the
Jamie.
artwork for our videos and all the little
Yeah.
characters that you see. That's Jamie. So he is now a dad. So shout out to Jamie.
Yay.
Nice one. Duke. Over to you.
Yeah, I'll shout out Tainted Brain because he had Shady Part of Me on his wish list, and I was like, well, shit, yeah, I got you, fam. And so I gifted it to him, and he played it and finished it quickly, so he liked it. Much love to him. And shout out to Jacinta for emailing us, and Gak and Jason Gallagher. Love hearing from people. If anybody out there wants to send us an email, do it. veterangamers@co.u.k, something, I don't know.
There you go. That one.
Right. Shout out to the Duchess for making some awesome food this week. She made a flan for yesterday's gathering, which was great. Shout out to Madeline for the chatting about games, even though I disagree with her about what a video game is and is not. Shout out to you two for being interesting And shout out to the UW Whitewater Writing Festival that I'm going to be presenting at on Wednesday. So yeah, nobody will hear this from there, but that's okay.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
The thought is the thought that counts, dude.
Yeah, exactly. It's a
Even
good
if they don't
thought.
hear it. It's fine.
Right.
It's fine. Thank you. By the way, I've never been described as interesting before, but I'll take it.
Yeah, well, I got to say something.
I'll take compliments, whatever they come, in whatever shape or
Yeah,
form. I'll take them.
Any shape or form, yeah.
Any shape or form, whatever it is, just take it. I think that's it. I think we're done
That's
I think we are done.
for another week. Week.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for listening.
I don't know why I did that. Sorry.
You should be.
Yeah.
It's a bit quiet, that is, dude. It's a bit quiet.
Wow, it's a bit loud.
What? I don't know why it was turned down.
You lose. Good day, sir.
Zippity bow. Oh, zippity bow.
Zippity bow.
Who was that? Who was it though?
We'll never know.
We'll never know. We'll never know. It's one of the coolest things that ever happened, and we'll never know who
Actually,
did
I
it.
think I know who it was.
Maybe your eyes. I think that's who it was.
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, so cool. Still one of the coolest things that someone's ever sent into the show, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Agreed.
It is. It is. And we'll never know. Wow. Anyway, on that note, I've got to go because it's fucking late now.
Okay.
Okay, that's enough. No more talking.
Now we're talking. Oh.
All right, recording's done.
Oh.
Closing this window. I got some work done for school. Not a lot, but some, which is
Oh.
okay.
I'm in a
Sometimes
big
that's all you can
stretch,
really do.
people. Tell you get
Yeah.
to you get to our age or my age because I'm the oldest here,
Oh, yeah.
and sitting in the same space for like 2 hours, it's not as easy as it used to be.
That's true.
It is true.
You
It's
gotta get
fucking
up and move
true.
around. And deep vein thrombosis is the thing that happens to
Oh,
gamers,
thank you,
y'all.
dude. Yeah, on top of anything else I might have, why don't I just have some of that?
That's
too?
why you got to get up and walk around on a regular basis. Move
That's
it,
true.
move it. I like to move it, move it.
I
Keep
like
the
to
blood
move
flowing.
it,
Drink
move it.
water.
I like
outside
to
once in a
move it,
while.
move it. Hey,
Yeah.
move it. Hey, what did you think of my mashup I sent you?
I don't know if I listened to that yet.
Oh, for God's sake!
Which one
Come
was
on, put it on. Put it on now. Let
Well, it's on
Ginny,
my
you're still
phone.
streaming.
Yeah.
Put it on now.
Yes,
on
I
my
am
phone,
still
isn't it?
streaming.
It's on your phone. Yeah,
Oh
so
wait,
we'll just
I did listen to this. What is it?
put it on. It's cool. My mashups I can mash up now.
Oh, this was the Bust a Move one. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
good. I liked it. It was cute. I've
Did
never
you-
been a
did-
huge fan of Young MC, but yeah, it was well done. You made
Did
that?
you see what it was mixed with though?
I listened to it. I don't know if it stood out.
It's mixed with a tune called "Is There Anybody Out There," which is a really
guess I
old
don't-
'90s house tune.
I
But
guess I
it
don't know that one.
just fit. It just
did fit.
works.
Well, I agree.
It just works. It was
Yeah.
pretty impressive.
Yeah.
I did do another one.
I like
I've
how he
done
talks
another
about
one.
his own work. It was very impressive what I did there. It
No,
just
well,
fit
the only reason can I just explain, right? So basically, Serato,
ahead,
which is
explain.
the Serato, which is a DJ software
Yes.
that you use with my decks.
Right.
They've done a beta now that includes stem separation, just included with the software now. So
Okay.
you can separate out the drums, the vocals, the bass, and
we're done
the
recording.
melody. So it's pretty cool. So you can
Question?
literally just
Okay. The Duchess is just here on the ground.
Yeah.
Sorry. Separation, right. Yes, you can take the stuff out. That's good.
stem separation, but it's basically like that game, but for reals for
Yeah, I have a
DJs.
problem with it. It's distracting. I can't pay attention to Stu's rambling when you're making weird faces at me.
No, I think she should make weird faces at you all the time.
I guess so. Well, she does do it all the time, so you're in luck.
There you go. So yeah, it's cool, and it's not perfect. I mean, sometimes the vocals are a bit muffled. You know, if you
Yeah.
take everything else out and just leave the vocals. But overall,
Right.
it kind of works. It kind of works. It's quite a cool thing that you can do it on the fly as well as, you know, whilst you're playing. You can just
Agreed.
get the vocals from a tune without anything else and just drop it in, you know, when you're on a break in the tune that you're playing.
Yeah,
It's
totally.
just it's a cool feature
It's
to
just
have.
cool. Just do it. Just use
Just
it.
do it. Just do it. But it is amazing how well songs fit over other songs. You know, like
Yeah.
they just literally
Oh yeah,
fit.
sure. Yeah, when it works, it's magical. I agree. It's a
No,
nice
did you see? I put one on. I didn't actually record it properly, but I did Lizzo over Michael Jackson.
Oh, nice.
You know, the latest Lizzo tune. Let me
Combination.
see. Let me see if I can find it. Hold up.
I thought you was
Hold on.
tired.
Well,
Yeah,
so
really.
I'm
I gotta
not-
go. I
I'm-
gotta go. Oh wait.
I'm not
hang on a
actually at
second.
work tomorrow,
I'll
so it's
play
not
these
that
things.
that big a deal.
I
Yeah.
gotta go. Oh wait, no, I don't.
Hold up. Let me just find it. Yeah. Where did I put it? Oh, I put it on Twitter. Did I tweet it? I can't fucking remember now. What did I do with it? Hold up. Oh, it's here. It's here.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
just crazy, isn't it? That it just works.
Agreed.
Well,
It's
yeah,
funky.
it is cool,
It
isn't
works,
it?
too.
It just works. Just works. But yeah,
Yes,
I'm trying all sorts of shit now, mashing stuff up and seeing what,
Well, yeah,
getting stuff
why
in the
not?
same key and going, right, does this work with this?
Yeah.
This sounds
Got
cool. Oh, here's my
BPM
latest one.
happening.
You might as well hear that while I'm on it. Hold up.
Oh god.
No, this one. No, you like this? It's another rap tune.
No,
Hold up.
Shinny, you like it. Shut up.
You like it's another rap. Here we go.
I have to mute the stream every time you do that, Stu, anyway. Is it playing? Is it playing? Can't hear it. Stu, stop it and just start talking normally. Yeah, keep going. Yeah, keep going. Yeah. And now try and play it. Bye. It's a thing.
I like mashing shit up. Just mash it up, man. Like
Yeah.
potatoes. Just gotta mash them.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I have found out though? How easy it is to make a mashup.
Yeah.
It's very simple.
I don't know.
You don't have to do a lot to make it work.
No.
All these people who go, "Hey, I've made this song and they've mixed it with this song and it took me ages." That takes about 2 seconds. You've just got to work out what entry point you need to bring it in at. Once you've done that, you're sorted.
And the rest, it just takes care of itself.
It just takes care of itself, yeah, because it just fits. Because obviously all songs are built by phrases and bars and whatnot, and they just fit into the phrases, regardless of, because every song's built the same way. It doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
There you go. That's because that's people's attention span. 8 bars, if you didn't know. That's what they do. Right. I will let you go, Mr. Chin.
Okay, okay.
And I will speak to you next week.
Alrighty.
Next year, we'll definitely have to sort out something next year because we still haven't done out for this year, have we? Terrible.
do you mean?
Just like meet up or get together.
Oh yeah. We'll sort
or
one out.
whatever. Yeah, we need to sort something out.
Yeah.
Still haven't done it. Right, I will leave you to it though on that note, and I will speak to you soon.
All right.
Bye.
See you, mate.